and in key battleground states.
Vice President and Democratic nominee Kamala Harris will spend all of today in Pennsylvania, which offers the largest prize, 19 electoral votes. Harris will visit working-class areas including Allentown and wrap up the day with a rally tonight in Philadelphia. Republican nominee and former President Donald Trump plans 4 rallies, starting with one in Raleigh, North Carolina, 2 rallies in Pennsylvania, in Reading and Pittsburgh, and a Monday night rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Trump and Harris are trying to get millions of supporters to get to the polls on Tuesday. Donna Warder, Washington.
Republicans hope to flip Ohio in a marquee Senate race. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports from Toledo.
Democrat Sherrod Brown is trying to win a 4th term in the U.S. Senate, but he's facing a tough challenge from Cleveland businessman Bernie Moreno. It's not only shaping up to be the most expensive Senate contest in the country, it's a race that will play a role in deciding which party controls the Senate. Republicans hope a victory here will shift the balance of power in their favor. The latest polling average shows Brown and Moreno locked in a virtual tie. Greg Clugston, Toledo, Ohio.
Forecasters are keeping a close eye on a storm system in the Caribbean. Expected to become a hurricane, it could dump lots of rain on Florida and possibly the northern Gulf Coast later this week. Flooding, power outages, at least 11 injuries as a result of weekend storms that raked Oklahoma. There could be more of the same today. In the words of one forecaster, we're not done with it yet. On Wall Street, the Dow futures down 34 points. NASDAQ futures are off 3. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The instability of our economy after this election has many worried, and stocks and bonds could be the first to collapse. Countless Americans are turning to the safest store of wealth in human history to protect their retirement accounts. Physical precious metals. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts convert their vulnerable paper assets into physical gold to protect their hard-earned savings. Today, we'd like to send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to claim yours. Act before the election to take advantage of the current rollover policies, allowing for a quick and seamless transfer into physical gold or silver. Don't let the outcome of this election influence the fate of your financial future. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
Dozens die in a bus accident in India.
A poorly maintained and overcrowded bus has veered off the road and plunged into a deep gorge in northern India, killing at least 36 people and injuring several others. The bus was carrying around 60 people and more than 20 have been injured, according to authorities. A preliminary investigation suggested that the bus, which was reportedly in a dilapidated condition, skidded before tumbling down a 200-foot deep gorge in India's Almora district. A number of passengers managed to escape or were thrown out by the impact and then alerted authorities about the accident. I'm Karen Chamath.
Japan has successfully launched a defense satellite designed for speedier communication and military operations on a new flagship H-3 rocket as the country seeks to build up its military capability amid growing tension in the region. The rocket lifted off today from a launch site in southwestern Japan. News and analysis, townhall.com. No one knows how tomorrow's presidential election will turn out, but the Federal Reserve's move 2 days later, much easier to predict.
With inflation continuing to cool, the Fed is set to cut interest rates for a second time this year. On Thursday, the Fed's policymakers are on track to cut their benchmark rate by a quarter point to about 4.6% after having implemented a half-point reduction in September. The Fed's future actions, though, will become more unsettled once a new president and Congress take office in January.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Conservationists and a Native American group suing to block a Nevada lithium mine that they say will drive an endangered wildflower to extinction, disrupt groundwater flows, and threaten cultural resources. The Interior Department approved the lithium boron mine, lithium used to make EV batteries and solar panels. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, Whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. We are full on into November now. We're done with Halloween. I think, we're done with summer. We're full on feeling like fall now. Of course, we got through another weekend of rain Friday night and into Saturday, of course, was hairy for some areas. But Sunday, we kind of got a lot of soaking rain. That was kind of different, and hopefully everybody fared well. I know I saw waking up Saturday morning like many of you did, particularly more south of us, but definitely parts of it, Roswell, definitely saw some more high water risings and flooding. Obviously, thank goodness not to the degree of a week or two ago here, but definitely some of that. So hopefully everybody fared okay through the weekend here. Of course, busy time right now, not only with, people with, getting ready for Thanksgiving just a few weeks away and all that. Sports going on. Of course, we're now into high school football playoffs after this weekend's games. We now know where Roswell and Goddard and some of our other local schools will be going next here in the playoffs. Just to kind of give you a recap on what we're doing here. As far as Roswell, Goddard, and Artesia go, Roswell is the 1 seed, Artesia the 2, and Goddard is in there as well as a 10 seed. So Artesia and Roswell will be on a bye this week. Since they're in the top 4, the top 4 seeds get a bye. So they will have the week off. They will await who their opponent will be as the lower seeds will play this weekend. The Goddard Rockets, like I said, they are a 10 seed. They will be playing this weekend. They're going to take on the 7th seed, Lovington Wildcats. That game will be in Lovington at 1 p.m. on the 9th here, which is Saturday, I believe. And we will have that game for you. Our plan is we're working to procure video rights for that. Our plan is to put that game right here on 106.5. Since it's on a Saturday in the afternoon, we will put it right here on 106.5. Roswell High is not playing at that time. So our plan is we're cementing all that today and getting the video rights. And so I will have more information as we lock all that information out. But the plan is to procure video rights for everybody and have video of the game and then put the audio of the game here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Now, if we can't secure video rights, we'll definitely have the radio, and it'll be right here on 106.5. So radio is going to happen one way or the other, but we're working to procure those video rights. It's a little weird when you get into the playoff time. The NMMA, New Mexico Activity Association, they have with ProView, they have the rights to playoffs, video streaming rights. So in essence, for the entire state. So if we want to video a game and they choose not to cover it, then they sell us the rights. And so usually those first couple rounds that they're pretty good about letting us purchase those rights for games here in southeast New Mexico. As we get farther into the playoffs, those abilities to do that become less and less. So we'll probably this round and maybe next week we're probably good on video rights. Past that, it might get a little tricky, just to give you a heads up on that. As far as some of our other schools here, let me scroll down on the bracket here. Let's see here. Sorry here. I'm trying. The way they have this set up with the scroll, it's a little weird. In 3A, Dexter, they are the 2 seed, and they will get a bye here this week, and they will await their opponent, who will play on the 8th between the 7th seed Hatch Valley and the 10th seed Pohake Valley. The New Mexico Military Institute Colts are in as a 5 seed. They will get a home game, but they will play this weekend. They will play Friday night at 7, as NMMI will host, as a 5 seed, will host the 12 seed Hot Springs there. So that game, and I imagine we'll probably have it on our NMMI channel on KSVPTV.com for those to watch and all that good stuff there. Let's see. Gateway Christian, they are a 4 seed in the 8-man. They will have a bye this week, and they will play. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I take that back. They will have the bye this week. They will play on the 9th here at this Saturday. They will play the 5th seed Clayton, who defeated the 12th seed K-Star 56-6. So Gateway Christian will play here Saturday at 1 p.m. Against the 5 seed, and if they win that, they will play either the 1 seed Melrose or the 9 seed Lordsburg on next week, November 15th to the 18th, depending on that one. So that's what I'm looking at as far as playoffs go and all that good stuff for football. Of course, like I said, we will carry radio for Roswell, Goddard, and Artesia in our networks of stations here. Goddard and Lovington, we're going to have that game for you right here on 106.5. It looks like it's Saturday at 1 o'clock. We are procuring video rights for that one. I should have that cemented down, and hopefully we'll have a definite for you tomorrow on that one. But I'm pretty sure we'll be okay on that one. So just a heads up there. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We got a busy one for you for today. Of course, Election Day is tomorrow as well. I didn't even get started there. We're getting into elections. So if you did not early vote this past weekend or prior, then tomorrow is your big day to get out and vote at any of the voting convenience centers around town. If you have any questions about any of that stuff, don't hesitate to call the Chaves County Clerk's office. They'll be happy to answer any questions as far as, if you want to know your voting status, precincts, all that kind of stuff. Go call the clerk's office or come by, and they'll be happy to take care of that for you. But let me give you the rundown for today's show. Like I said, we do have a busy one. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by Sandy Correa and Jana Blewett talking PEO. If you're like, what's that? Well, stay tuned. We're going to learn you more about it, talk more about it here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have U.S. Senate candidate Nella Domenici call in. Like I said, tomorrow's Election Day. Candidates are doing their last-minute pushes to folks that have not voted yet. So Nella will join us on the phone about 8:15 and give us an update on her campaign. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had on Friday with Barbara Gomez from Main Street Roswell, talking a lot about, of course, Black Friday, Shop Small, and, of course, with Christmas and the Light Parade and the big weekend of the Christmas tree and everything else in Main Street Roswell. So we'll play that interview for you in about 9:15 or so this morning. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local, national variety, Wall Street business update, sports, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, your weather, a cooler weather than what we've been, like our high today, 56. That's usually an overnight low. Now it's a high. So here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers around the area today with a cold front moving through. Partly cloudy skies and very gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. This afternoon's high in the upper 50s to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, cloudy and windy. Our low in the mid to upper 30s. And then we're back to sunny weather on Tuesday. Highs in the upper 60s, 70 and sunny on Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 49 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 74%. Winds currently out of the south at 6 miles per hour. We are looking at a 30% chance at some more rain showers for this afternoon. They're talking after 2 o'clock today. Partly cloudy, but cooler. High of only 57 degrees with southwest winds a little breezy, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Yeah. If it wasn't for the winds, this wouldn't be a bad forecast. That winds, it just kind of make you like, Arr. All right, for tonight, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming clear. Expect an overnight low of 33, tickling the freezing, tickling it oh-so. Winds out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny and a little warmer tomorrow, mid-60s, 66 for a high. Southwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 36 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, sunny, high of 68. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. There is a 30% chance of showers for Wednesday night. They're talking after 11, so more overnight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 41 degrees. Thursday, we are looking at a 60% chance at rain early before 11, mostly cloudy, high of only 50. And then a 60% chance of rain Thursday night, mainly before 11. So, I don't know. Looks like a rain chance all day for Thursday. Expect an overnight low of 40. A 30% chance of rain for Friday as well, but early hours. So, looks like, well, there really isn't much football. It's all on Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and 55. And then for the weekend, sunny on Saturday with a high of 64, sunny and 66 on Sunday. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take a quick break, get you in your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten, and then a quick commercial break, and then we'll have the ladies talking PEO with us next. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good November run this week following some good soaking rains with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings, young to middle-aged bred cows, and heifers. We expect to sell 1,900 head, breaking down like this: 200, 225 weight cows and bulls, 275, 300 pairs bred cows, 1,350, 1,400 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 25 to 30 cow-calf pairs, mostly black, white face, red, white face cows with Angus calves inside, 5 to 10 years old. 50 young cows and bred heifers, JT Cattle Company, Floyd, New Mexico. Ex-quality black, white face Angus crossbreds, second and third trimester bred, 2 to 5 years old. Also 50 bred heifers, JT Cattle Company, Floyd. Ex-quality red, white face and Charolais crossbred heifers, second and third trimester bred, 2 to 4 years old. 22 bred cows, Spanish Dagger Ranch, Midland, Texas. Excellent quality Charolais cows, bred to Charolais. Cows 5 to 9 years old. Several other consignments of young, middle-aged, and older bred cows and heifers. 92 calves, Casabon Ranch, Hope, New Mexico. Reputation quality black Angus calves, cattle weaned 45 days, 3 rounds of shots, 375, 550 pounds. 105 calves, McDaniel Family Trust, Capitan, New Mexico. Ex-quality black Angus calves, Bow-Shield Gold 7-way, 450, 600 pounds. 68 calves, MacGyver Ranch, Fort Davis, Texas. Excellent quality black white face and English crossbred calves, shots at Brandon, 500, 700 pounds. 103 calves, Mr. Montioni, Mountain Air, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face, red white face English crossbred calves, Bow-Shield Gold 7-way, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. 60 calves, Diamond Tail Ranch, Quemada, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred calves, weaned, short weaned, 1 round of shots, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. 94 calves, Dry Creek Ranch, Glenwood, New Mexico. Reputation quality black Angus calves, shots at Brandon, 400, 550 pounds. 40 calves, Mr. Jean Jacques, Guyana, New Mexico. Excellent quality black and red Angus calves, weaned 30 days, Bow-Shield Gold 7-way, 400, 500 pounds, and 35 Corriente steers, Mr. Bodie Means, Valentine, Texas. Good quality roped out native solid colored Corrientes, 500, 600 pounds. Several smaller consignments of high-quality native calves and light yearlings. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 10:30. Be selling calves and yearlings around 12 o'clock noon. We expect to sell 1,900 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Find your path to a greater future with Eastern New Mexico University. If you're looking to take the next step in your higher education journey, both in person and online, Eastern New Mexico University is the place for you. ENMU is now accepting applications for spring 2025, so don't miss out on your opportunity to join more than 5,700 fellow Greyhounds on this exciting path to student success. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success, that's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Sandy Correa back, wearing a different hat this morning.
Yes, wearing a different hat.
Slightly different hat this morning. And also Jana Blewett as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And this morning we're here to represent I'm gonna do a double O for you. The organization PEO, which the O part is an organization thing. So so first off, before we kind of get into what's going on, I guess let's start at the top. For folks that have no idea what PEO is,
okay.
Let's start with there and tell them what it is.
All right, big words coming.
Yes.
We stand for we are a philanthropic educational organization.
Yes.
For women.
Yes.
So, what we do is we raise money to fund scholarships that we have to support women in furthering their education.
So it's really just a service organization to support women's education.
Yes.
Basically, with all the fancy words.
With all the fancy words, yes. It's like I finally was able to roll it off the tongue without stammering.
And
it
now,
took forever.
And now you know why they just call it PEO.
Yes, yes. It is like.
But I didn't want to get it confused with Professional Employment Organization, which is another very important good thing too. That does a lot of similar stuff, but they just different branch.
It's really funny because I've been in it for almost 20 years and finally got philanthropic. It's like okay, but no, it's a wonderful organization for women, and we have 3 chapters here in Roswell.
Excellent.
We have chapter B, Z, and K. We're in chapter K.
How big does it get? Like nationally, globally?
Oh, yeah, globally.
Internationally?
It's international.
Far? Okay.
We have about 250,000 members.
Excellent.
Internationally.
So it's pretty neat that we have that many chapters right here in Southeast or in New Mexico.
And I know we've got, I want to say about 65 chapters in the state of New Mexico, somewhere around there.
Right.
And but the thing of it is it started out back in 1869 with 7 women.
All right. So
in Des Moines, Iowa.
All right. Right in the middle of America.
The middle of America, right after the Civil War, and these 7 women decided, I mean, you could kind of call it a sorority thing, But
and I imagine, too, if you look at history, that's right in the heart of women's suffrage and in the women's movement.
Exactly.
So, yeah, exactly.
And the other thing that is so amazing about this organization, these 7 women, they spread it out and everything, and it just started. Here you're in the end of the Civil War, and women, still kind of on the lower pole.
The second-class citizen
exactly,
mindset,
but they
absolutely.
saw the need for education, and so they just branched out and just started this group, and not only
like you do everything else in America. If you want something done, you roll up your sleeves and do it.
And then and it was in
self-starter.
Exactly.
And then in about the late 20s, it was about 1927, 29. We own a college. We have an all-women's college.
Excellent. That's probably the first of its kind
in Nevada, Missouri.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Another, but yeah, and it's a small college, but I mean, it has about 350, 400 students,
Okay.
women students.
So
And it's just gone. It used to be a 2-year kind of a stepping stone
sure,
to go into
right, a junior
whatever.
college, like,
Mhm.
but the thing is, people don't realize, and young folks, I know, depending on your world and things, when you have a college with, we're really, probably the student to staff ratio is very, very small.
Yes.
You don't realize how much more quality of an education you get in that kind of environment.
Absolutely. and they just a couple of years ago they started offering some 4-year degrees and everything. So and we support that through our fundraising as well. It's called Cotty College, and if any women or young women get a hold of us, we'll be more than happy to get you in contact or see about getting you a scholarship.
Excellent.
So, but that's what we have. All of these 6 scholarships that are overall through the international piece. We
Excellent.
have Educational Loan Fund.
Okay.
You can get a loan at 2%.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Unheard of. And not only that, you get maybe less than 0.1% unpaid.
Oh, wow.
I know.
This is kind of like what vets get sometimes.
Yeah,
and, you know,
but I
that
mean,
level.
that's what
Yeah.
I mean. They show that importance. It's, at 2%. And then we have a continuing education grant. That's not, you just apply for it. And if
Excellent.
you get it, you get up to $3,500.
Excellent. So all those folks listening out there that are, especially I know like teachers and things where once you're in and then you're constantly, put towards your masters, your dossiers, and moving on.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is to help cover some of that cost. But by the way, my wife paid for that. But anyway.
So then we have the STAR Scholarship, which has been around for about, I'm seeing about since 2009. Really? Oh, I'm finding that out myself. No, it's for a young high school student that's going to school.
Okay.
And it's to any college that they want to go to.
Excellent.
So, and then we have the International Peace Scholarship, which we bring somebody from a third world country. We had sponsored one from Madagascar when we had our 4 chapters.
Okay.
And we brought her over to study at UNM.
Oh, wow.
And she got it and she went back and wonderful person. She was just wonderful. And she wants to be president of Madagascar one of these days. And
I would not be surprised if you see that name.
I could just see her doing that.
Yeah.
And then we have a scholar award. And then we have our Cotty College if they want to go to Cotty College. And then we have some state, if they're going to want to apply for our state grants that we have.
Okay.
And we have the Delilah Williams Scholarship, the Francine Neff Scholarship. And if you know that name, she used to be the Secretary of Treasury.
Gotcha.
Back in the day. And then we have the New Mexico State Scholarship. Now, people think that's for New Mexico State. No, it's for any New Mexico college.
Yes, in the state.
In the state, yes. And one of our favorites is Jean Boswell. She was in our chapter. She was the international president. And it was a wonderful lady.
So she was someone with a local footprint that stretched it internationally.
Yeah, and we have 2 of her family members still.
In the area?
In our chapter.
Good.
Yeah. And
excellent. Well, hopefully they're the ones that whoever wins or gets awarded that scholarship, maybe they're the ones that actually hand it to the student.
It would be nice. And now we have this new exciting one. It's the New Mexico Career and Technical Education.
Excellent.
Scholarship. And that is for anybody that's going for a technical degree.
Sure.
Nursing.
Absolutely.
Aviation.
But that's the thing, too.
And what do we have out here in MUR?
Well, I love that, because let's face it, some of those career fields women steer clear of. Your HVAC, your electrical, your plumbing, your aircraft maintenance, and quite frankly, why? There's no reason why.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, short of you don't like getting dirty, I don't see why. These are, and to be honest, all of those career fields, no matter where you go in life, to be honest, even if you don't pursue a career in necessarily those skill sets, that's stuff they can't take away from you. The skill sets on how to work with electric work or how to do carpentry.
Value.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, even if you, I decided to do art history. Now I'm a museum curator. Great. But guess what? Now you can do some electrical work at your house.
I think it's great that we finally got that. This has been a long time coming, and because how many nurses that need help if they're wanting to go on and get their masters and go on with that.
To become maybe doctors or
exactly
those. I don't know all the initials, but those nurse practitioners that do pretty much everything a doctor does.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, that was kind of an exciting time for it to finally get kicked off. We've heard about it for the last couple of years, and they finally got it kicked off. But it's a worthwhile organization. We've become really close. We take care of each other.
Absolutely.
And
of course, another board Sandy sits on here. If any of those that are into the technical side, she knows somebody in her Walker aviation group. They might be able to learn you more a little bit about the aviation and technical side. So.
Yeah, there you go.
So apply for the scholarship there, and then go over to the Aviation Museum and let Sandy show you how to work the simulator.
There you go. Yes. No, I crashed and burned on that too many times. Bob Donnell and Robert Sherman would tell you, no, she can't fly. It's like, that's a little harder than what you think, folks. So it's like,
the simulator.
I can't even park the thing without burning and crashing.
It is about the closest thing to really flying a plane you can get.
Yeah,
so,
it really
most
is.
of us can't just hop in and, all right, see you in San Diego.
But yeah, one of our things, our main purpose in our goals and everything else like that, we just try to raise this money. And I'm going to tell our little story that we do internally. You've heard of the movie The Traveling Pants?
Yes.
Whatever it's
Sisterhood
called.
of the Traveling
Pants, yes. Well, we had one sister, she was moving, and she was in charge of bringing the dessert, and we always give it away.
Okay.
You know, that's how it got started. And so we washed the dish and everything else like that, and we said, here. And she goes, I don't want that. Everything's packed. So we came up with the Traveling Cake Pan, as one of our fundraisers.
Okay.
And so you wouldn't believe, I mean, we get more than just cakes in it. We've taken it a little step further. You know, it's whatever.
It's kind of got steroided up over the years a little bit.
Whoever wins the Traveling Pan, put in a cake, pie, whatever, pecans, green chili.
It's kind of like what they've done to Bloody Marys. Like, remember, like, you just get a Bloody Mary. Now you get online, and it's like a chicken, a rotisserie chicken on there. There's a bacon. I think there's a cheeseburger sitting on the side. It kind of turned into something like that.
It's turned into something like that. But, you know, that's become just an internal fundraiser for our projects. Yeah. And it's amazing. And sometimes it's like, who got it? It's unfair. And I've been accused of getting it too many times.
Your name seems to pop up more often than
yours too,
odds would dictate.
But we have, it's a lot of fun when we do that. But it's all going back to this education thing.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to let Janet tell you what we've got coming up tomorrow night. So.
Got an event tomorrow. If folks want to get more involved, we got something for you.
After you vote, you need to come have dinner with us at Texas Roadhouse.
Is this Dine to Donate night, you guys?
It is.
Awesome. I love that Texas Roadhouse does this.
Yes.
So it'll be the PEO night here tomorrow night at
Yes. We're going to have a greeting table at the front that will have information as to what the donations are going towards.
Okay.
So Ms. Sandy indicated we're all about women's education.
Sure.
And we want to encourage young high school girls to apply for the scholarship as they're thinking about college or vocational steps after high school, as well as women who have already been in a field but have decided to go back and finish their education. Maybe it's been 5-6 years.
Sure. Or time for an update with technology.
Or to finish a bachelor's degree. We support that. So all of these different scholarship opportunities, as Sandy described, are really a vast option for young women and even middle-aged women. So there's no age limit specifically on or a limitation as to what they can do to further their education.
Folks, if you've never walked around the campus of NMUR, guess what? It's not all 18-year-olds running around out there. There's men and women in their 50s. They just had I think it was 70s that graduated.
I think so.
The last semester ago?
Yes, we saw a photo, I believe, in the newspaper, and that was very exciting.
Absolutely. So, if you're breathing and wanting to live life, then you can go back to school.
That's very true.
Certainly have to put the effort into
Absolutely.
it. So
That's what you want to do, but absolutely.
Someone who has the initiative and has the motivation
Absolutely.
to do so. We have it set up, Mike, where when they open at 3, any of the proceeds, you have to have our flyer.
Yeah, that
has
is
a
the big
barcode.
rule here is you got to bring it, whether it's on your phone or you actually print it off as a piece of paper, and you need to present that to your wait staff when you're at Texas Roadhouse tomorrow.
So we're not, because of the guidelines and ethics, we're not going to be working the premises. We won't be able to pass out flyers at the event.
You can't. It's like you can't be at the polls and solicit. Same kind of
correct.
deal. Can't solicit at the polls here.
That's exactly it. I wonder if we stood 100 feet back. Never mind.
That's right. Now you can be there. Now we want to get gray here.
And we certainly shout out to Amber Lopez. She is the marketing coordinator for our local Texas Roadhouse in Roswell.
Yeah.
And she's been fabulous to work with. And we went over all the guidelines, and she had us sign the contract and certainly the agreement.
Yeah.
But she understands that we are passionate about women's education.
Absolutely.
And our greeting table will have all the information about PEO. We are allowed to take donations, in-kind donations,
so if you'd like to
at the site.
Okay, so if you just happen to be going there to eat and forgot the flyer and everything, oh man, that was nice. You can throw some bucks in the donation thing.
Right, and we would be grateful for anything anyone is offering to give us.
And if you're not familiar with this, by the way, if you get like I said, we'll find it online. You can go. There's a flyer and it says "Dine to Donate." It's got the armadillo there from the Texas Roadhouse and everything on it.
The armadillo cowboy.
Yeah. And then, so what you need to do is you need to have that flyer and you present it to your wait staff.
Yes.
And what they'll do is 10% of your total meal cost will go back to PEO. Is how it works.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they'll scan the barcode, tabulate, and at the end of the night they'll settle up and say, all right, we had X amount of dollars in sales, 10% of that goes, and then they do the accounting and cut you guys a check out.
It's a direct link.
Yeah.
So we're very grateful for that. And they were so awesome to work with.
Yeah.
So Tuesday night, which is tomorrow, after you vote, come, or if you've already voted, you can even come for early dinner between 3 and 5, and they have some early bird specials.
Excellent.
At Texas Roadhouse. So we will be there from 3 in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night closing. And we'll have smiley faces and information on PEO.
And of course, by the way, have a delicious steak.
Yeah.
Or barbecue or burger or
the
fish.
The service is always amazing.
Yeah.
We love their staff, and they are so positive and upbeat. It's a very fun environment. Bring the family.
Absolutely.
And kids get a really good deal on their meals, and
for the value, like and this is something that I don't know marketing and stuff, but I don't know how they make money because you know what I mean? Like they give you a lot for your value. Like you go to a restaurant, especially nowadays, you drop $50 in a place and you don't get a whole lot.
Yeah.
And there you drop $50 and you feel like you got $50 worth of stuff. You know
Plus
what I mean?
you end up having a little take home.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean? Like that. It's it's a very affordable experience considering what they provide you.
Yes.
You know, it's like you're not going to find a steak dinner in town of that caliber for that price.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, obviously, with them having a huge supply chain, they get.
I know they're making money because there's lots of them. I'm just scratching my head on how they do that.
But it is one of the best deals in town.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And
I agree.
we're so thankful that they do this for yourself and so many organizations because pretty much almost every Tuesday night you could probably go to Texas Roadhouse and find a nonprofit organization that's benefiting.
And not only that, they're letting us use the proceeds from takeout orders. So not just inside.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to go in and have relaxation during the election time,
or you want to get home,
and you want to get home
at 7 o'clock. You're
exactly,
I'm
on the TV.
I got my steak dinner and watching the TV.
There you go. Yeah. So yes, you can use it for takeout. So
absolutely,
that was
how that
blessing.
works. If I remember right, is like if you have the app or use it to the app to order. Bring the flyer with you.
Yes.
When you go to pick up your meal, and then they'll scan it, and that way you guys will get credit for it when they do the tabulation.
The key is having the barcode. That's the direct link and the flyer. So you can contact us. I will be able
hand deliver
to hand deliver flyers to people if they
Do you guys
contact
have a
us.
Facebook page or something that people can download it off of, or something like that? Or if you have a copy of it, I'll make sure it's on our Facebook comments.
Okay.
That's the one thing. We'll get it. So if you go to the video of this on the Roswell Talk FM Facebook, in the comment section, we'll have they'll leave it with Jocelyn, and then she'll put an image
that's where
of the
you can
flyer.
get the link. Is on
and
Facebook.
I'm out on Facebook, so it's Sandy Korea. Just look for the person with the balloon.
Yeah.
So,
Sandy with a Y.
Yeah, Sandy with a Y. That's right. So, yeah, and we'll have it out there.
You don't realize how many different ways there is to spell Sandy until you try to spell Sandy.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm like, I-E, just an I.
Yeah. No, Y. And then you have the movie Grease. When I was in high school, that's when it came out.
That's my wife.
The serenading in high school.
Well, my wife kind of grew up in that era when the movie came out in the 70s, it was popular. So that hit her right at her time. So my wife's a huge Grease fan, but it's more of the movie version, the 70s movie.
Yeah.
version.
So it's like, yes, it's the one with the Y. Yeah. See it? Yeah. I know.
I'm doing the Travolta version.
It was an interesting time.
Do you want to do the role of John Travolta?
I cannot dance.
Neither can I. Two left feet here. Gosh. No, it's in all seriousness. It's just a worthwhile organization.
Absolutely.
And our chapter's been around for 96 years.
Absolutely.
As of October.
We're going to be celebrating our 100th birthday in a few years.
4 years.
Wow.
For the Roswell
to be in the
Chapter
state
A.
of New Mexico.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So
100 years that women have been, and to be honest, looking for the next generation.
Exactly.
Please come out to Texas Roadhouse tomorrow night. Like I said, come visit the table there, and you can learn more. Maybe you want to get more involved, or maybe you have children that could benefit.
Yeah.
Pick up the brochure, become maybe work as a volunteer, or maybe get some of your children sign up for some of these scholarships and get them involved and active here.
Yeah.
And of course, come out and eat as much as possible and donate and help out here. And like I said, maybe you're even if you're a vegetarian, you can get corn and all that stuff. But if
the cactus blossom.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good stuff.
My favorite.
That's my favorite. It's like, let's eat that, and then, I have steak to take home. Darn.
Yeah, I know. You're like, do you want the peanuts? Of course I want the peanuts. I have no room for them, but I want them anyway.
Well, see, they used to go on the floor.
I miss those days.
Yeah, those days are done.
When our kids were in college, we'd go down to Waco, and I thought, why aren't they sweeping this up? And my kids said, that's what it is. That's part of their signature.
I remember in high school visiting a Texas.
When I lived in Amarillo, that was like, I'm going, peanut shells on the. Okay.
Well, one opened up in Waldorf, Maryland, where I was living there in D.C., and we were like, and that was the thing. Yeah, they threw the shells on the floor, and I'm like, all right, this is odd, but there was and then a little later there's a burger joint, and of course they're now all over the place. Five Guys used to do that too, but they wrapped that up. Probably about the same time probably Texas Roadhouse did when the litigious group got involved with and everyone got allergic to peanuts all of a sudden.
Well, they do post that sign on the outside of their door.
Yeah.
If you'll notice when you go into the restaurant, it says this restaurant has peanut products, so just be aware of that if you're allergy prone. So it's great that they really got it very clearly marked.
Absolutely,
but it's one of my favorite snacks.
That's a bummer, man.
I know.
There was actually one time for a minute where I was having some reactions to eat nuts, and I thought, oh man, did I develop a peanut allergy? Thank God it went away.
Yeah.
Because man, I was like,
well, you are kind of close to peanuts, in Portales.
Because I'm kind of like, man, life's over if I can't eat nuts. What am I gonna do?
And when you go to a baseball game, we're Arizona Diamondbacks fans.
Yeah.
First thing we got on our way into the stadium was the pack of peanuts. You have to have it to watch.
You can't even get Cracker Jacks because there's nuts in them, so you can't even have those.
I can.
Well, I can now, but I'm just saying, if you're allergic to nuts, now granted, Cracker Jacks is a little skinny on the nuts. Like you're like, there's like one nut per box.
Yeah, I think.
But Fiddle Faddle and Crunch and Munch got them beat. But
that's right.
Anyway, different conversation for a different time.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But yes, come learn. Now, if you kind of want to do some reading and research, you can internationally, like you said, you can look up what PEO is and kind of learn more about what it is. Now, again, don't confuse it with the Professional Employment Organization.
Right. And the website for that is PEOinternational.org.
Okay. So that's for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
but,
not the other one.
Well, yes, exactly. And you can pull up, they have some stuff that you can look at and get the history, and it talks about Cotty College, of course.
Okay.
And it's it's
Now
quite
taking
interesting.
applications.
But it's a highly regarded school.
Like it's like if you're looking for a quality education,
Yes.
but it also looked good hanging on the
Exactly.
wall and to employers too.
And we've had several people from this area go to the college, and their life experience from there is just astounding. It's like 1 in 10. What the ratio's 1 to 10? Can you imagine? I mean, I'm sitting here going, man, I wished I would have gone there.
Yeah, that's insanely small. Like even
Exactly.
like let's just give you a comparison. Like Lubbock Christian,
Yes.
or even Texas Tech.
Yeah, but Lubbock Christian's kind of a considered a small school.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess it's probably 4 times that.
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now don't even start on Texas Tech. There's probably classes of 200-300
Yeah.
in that.
We don't worry about that. So
fine school, all that,
Yeah,
but size is a little bit bigger.
Yes.
You're not. It's not 10-1 or
When we lived in Arizona, I didn't know what PEO was either.
Okay.
And in our community that we moved to from Phoenix, we had this incredible babysitter in high school, and I heard her talk about Cotty College.
Okay.
And I kept asking her, Nicole, where is Cotty College? Oh, it's in Missouri. It's this great school.
Yeah.
I thought, why haven't I heard about it? Well, the local chapter obtained a sponsorship for Nicole, our former babysitter, and she went and got her nursing degree at Cotty, and then she went on and got her master's.
Oh, wow.
And right now, as we speak, she just got a job as a nurse practitioner at a clinic in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
And is working like top tier with the physicians and has her own caseload.
It all started with her foot in her door at Cotty College in Missouri.
Yeah.
With a PEO scholarship.
And it's just amazing. You think about it, it's like, oh, our organization owns a college. Okay. But they have a chef that's a 5-star chef, and I'm going, wow.
So they're not eating like ramen like the rest of the college?
No.
They get perks. Going to a
get
small
those
school
perks,
has its
and they have sweets.
Careful, these kids can be spoiled
I
when they
know.
get out.
But see, that's the thing. Any young woman that wants to go reach out to us, we'll be more than happy to guide and figure out a way for you to get there.
Sure.
It is. It's small, but
what's as far as like you said, nursing? But do they pretty much have a pretty broad compass of like, if you want to be a lawyer, you could go there. If you want to be a
they do
engineer,
now.
no problem.
Well, if you step into
you can do
Gotcha. It'll get you started to
Sure.
go on to the specialty school that maybe handles that.
Well, one of our members, when it was just the 2-year, that's what she did. She
Okay.
got her associates and then went on and became a school teacher and then became a lawyer.
Gotcha.
So-
But probably some of the common,
Yes.
social
well, they
work
have business.
or
they have international
liberal
law,
arts or whatever arts.
Yeah, it's mostly liberal
those
arts.
degree
but
plans. Yeah.
It's just a really kind of cool thing. And,
Nice. Okay.
it's like all of us that have already graduated or done whatever, done our lives, and it's like, gosh, I wish I would have known that.
Right.
Because it's like,
well, you get the full college experience,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's and from a parental perspective. I'm sure that that's a little bit peace of mind when you're like, there's a lot more, I guess, adult eyes looking on things.
And there's a camaraderie within the college.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of the really unique things that PEO does for each of the students at the college is gather items from their chapter to send as a care package.
Oh,
so
cool.
they not only have their mom and dads or grandparents and family supporting them and sending them notes or letters or
like
text,
alumni and
but yes, the alumni and the chapters within PEO in every state.
Do they do like sororities and stuff too, where they have a little bit of that, or is it kind of? I don't know.
I'm not real sure.
I don't either. Obviously, there's probably not a lot of fraternities at the women's college. But,
no, I don't think so. But I know that there's a male college just not far away.
Right.
But they do have intramural sports and everything.
Cool.
And it's just an all-around thing. And the one thing that they do at Cotty, which is kind of a cool thing, at the end of the 2-year, when it was a 2-year school, and I know they offer it during the 4-year, but they got to go to Europe or exotic vacations for spring break. That's part of your whatever I want to
It's
call
part
it.
of your education process.
Seeing the
part of
world
your,
and dipping a toe in it.
Exactly. I mean, they get to go to all these fun places, you know.
And we get to see the videos or the posts on our international website. They'll share what the students are involved in, and it's very fun to follow.
As a guy that was in the military and has been to a place or two in that time that takes you there, I mean, yes, there is a lot of value in education in a classroom and everything else, but sometimes you don't get it till they put you in the world and you see it firsthand. Sometimes.
Exactly.
And that's
exactly.
And that's really that gives these students that experience to see it. In which, let's be honest, maybe through other means wouldn't have been able to do that on their own.
Right.
So.
Exactly. So,
We've had that opportunity. And we've talked about, being overseas or traveling abroad really gives you a unique perspective of your own home country and makes you feel very blessed. It makes you appreciative, but it also gives you an insight as to maybe what we can do to reach out to others in another country.
There are so many Americans that do not realize how good you have it here.
Yes.
And the things that you truly do take for granted, you don't realize until you go to places that don't offer it. And you would be surprised. Places that you think are more like us. Like your Englands and Australias and, these industrialized nations that you kind of think are just like us, but with a weird accent. No.
But they think we have a weird accent.
Exactly. No, they're not. There are slight differences in the rules and the laws where things, that just for instance, you get arrested in England, you're guilty until proven innocent over there.
Exactly.
And trust me, you want to know the difference? Find out. Go get arrested. You'll find out the difference.
Go find out.
Therefore, we decided to form our own country.
But I mean, that's just one of a million things you notice in every country like that, and just even opinions on women.
Oh yeah,
just in their thoughts
how many
on women.
countries women are subservient to everything, and
I spent time in the Middle East, and it's different.
It is very different.
So you got to experience that firsthand to sometimes truly understand what we're talking about.
I think that's what's special about Cotty College is even though it's small, they can provide a lot of unique opportunities. I know Nicole shared she was so excited to go to Cotty College, and it's that unique experience that then just launches you into lots of other opportunities.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to take another stab in going on the social side again is those probably because it's a small college and everybody knows everybody mindset.
Yes.
That cements friendships, and I'm pretty sure they have a lot of reunions. Like their classes are pretty, you know what I mean? Like almost like high school reunions. Where it's
I don't know if they do that, but I know that
I just feel like they're pretty close knit. Probably
they
you know
stay
what I mean?
pretty well close connected with each other.
Yeah, just a hunch. They're pretty connected.
I mean, because we're pretty close just within our chapters.
Sure.
And
it's definitely a sisterhood.
Yeah.
And I know that's the same connotation on the campus.
So if there's any young ladies that are listening that are thinking, I'm kind of looking for my niche in the world or looking for my thing, start by coming out and having a steak tomorrow.
That's it. There you go. Come and get that steak and we'll talk to you.
Or you can have some fish and green beans if that's
there you go. Because their salmon is good.
Salmon's very good. My wife has had it. And to be honest, you know what? If you want steak, but you don't want the full... Go with the beef tips. It's the perfect middle ground where you get the steak, but you're not getting the big hulking steak. You get
Oh, yeah. I've had those.
That's my recommendation.
That and the filet medallions.
Oh, yeah. Those are pretty tasty, too.
With that peppercorn sauce.
Yeah. And by the way, don't sleep on their pork chop. I love that pork chop they got.
I haven't tried that one yet.
It's good.
They're very
all right.
It's a 10. I enjoy it.
But we're looking forward. We hope we have a good turnout for tomorrow.
Come on out. Come in at the beginning of 3 to 10.
3 to 10.
Close will be the window for PEO.
Yeah.
Again, you need to have that flyer. You can
with the barcode.
Yeah, if you're watching the video here, you go to the Roswell Talk FM Facebook page after the show here, and we'll put the link up to that in the comments there. But if you don't do Facebook or whatever, get a hold of Sandy here or and we'll make sure that you get a flyer to get that, so you bring that with you. Now, by the way, if you just have it on your phone, that's fine.
That's fine.
Or if you have it on a piece of paper, that's fine. But you got to physically show them. You can't just say, I'm here for PEO. They're like, well, I'm here for Sundance. I mean, you need to have the flyer.
You need to have the flyer. That is right. So, and what an easy way to do a fundraiser.
Absolutely. And it's great and big thank you to Texas Roadhouse for doing this
absolutely
for you guys and for so many organizations here.
Yeah, definitely.
They believe in being involved in their community and supporting it no matter where they build a restaurant.
And then again, it's PEOinternational.org. .org is the website if you want to learn more about the big picture of what PEO is. And then tomorrow night, come on out and you can get asked more questions about specific local chapters here and all that.
We'll be there from 3 to 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, did we get it all?
I think so.
Thank
awesome.
you for
thank
having
you, ladies.
us.
Anytime. And
Thanks.
we'll see you guys tomorrow. And excuse the greasy fingers.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thank you, ladies. We'll see you next time.
All
okay.
Right. Bye.
It is 7:54. Let's pause for news and a quick break before more news. Don't go away.
Okay.
Now, your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. With the flooding requiring a long-term closure of the Roswell Convention Center, this month's regular meeting of the Roswell City Council has now been moved to the Community Development Service Conference Room. That's located in the Sun West Center at 500 North Main Street, Suite 100. The next City Council meeting is scheduled for November 14th. In addition, the Chavez County Clerk's Office has removed the Convention Center as a polling place for Tuesday's election. The site has been replaced by St. Andrew's Episcopal Church at 505 North Pennsylvania Avenue. Meanwhile, the President of the United States has approved Roswell and Chavez County's request for a declaration of a major disaster due to the flooding. The action will release FEMA funding to support in the recovery efforts. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has since classified last month's flooding as a 500-year flood event. A hotline remains set up at 833-663-4736 for any questions residents might have. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
This story is out of Glendale, Arizona. 37-year-old Isaiah Navarro saw a 14-year-old girl walking home from school. He quickly targeted her. I'm Kim Commando for Total AV, the award-winning antivirus software for just $19 a year right now at protectwithkim.com. Creepy Navarro approached and asked for the girl's phone number. She gave it to him, and he started messaging, asking her for selfies and to perform sexual acts. She was up for it and suggested they meet up. He said yes. But what happened when he showed up at the meeting place? Navarro was met by the police and placed in handcuffs. You see, Navarro wasn't ever messaging that 14-year-old girl. He was messaging her mother. The FBI says 90% of sexual advances against kids happen in chat rooms or on instant messaging platforms. Tell your kids to avoid sharing phone numbers or social media handles with suspicious persons. But if they are under pressure, tell them to share your phone number instead. Get my free newsletter at getkim.com. Do you need statistics to finally convince you to bite the bullet and get good antivirus software? Well, here's the cold, hard truth. Ransomware makes up 68% of all cyber attacks. 72% of businesses were attacked by ransomware last year. Phishing scams are the most reported cybercrime in the United States. And last but not least, AI-powered cybercrimes are rumored to make up 85% of these scams. When you're not using antivirus software, you're at major risk, period. Don't wait for the worst to happen. Protect yourself now. My pick for antivirus security software is the award-winning Total AV. Go to protectwithkim.com right now for protection that's just $19 a year. You get antivirus protection up to 5 devices. Go to protectwithkim.com before it's too late. You don't need to be a victim. Go to protectwithkim.com. You'll get great antivirus software at 85% off. That's protectwithkim.com, protectwithkim.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Reports. The playoff brackets are here, and for the Roswell Coyotes, and this is all football, Roswell is the top seed in Class 5A after thumping Goddard 27-0, finishing 8-1 overall and 6-1 in district. They'll take on the winner of Miyamura and Highland, so they've got a bye this coming weekend. Goddard, meanwhile, still in the playoff picture. They will be playing this Saturday at Lovington against the 7th seed of Wildcats. Goddard is the 10th 7th seed. That game starts at 1 o'clock. Dexter has a bye past the first round, Class 3A. They're the 2nd seed. They'll take on the winner of Hatch Valley and Pewaukee. NMMI is in action this Friday night against Hot Springs, a team they've played before. They're the 5th seed. Hot Springs is the 12th seed. Gateway Christian plays Saturday at 1 o'clock against Clayton. Clayton defeated Cuesta on Friday night. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia, or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour here around 8:15 or so. We're going to have U.S. Senate candidate Nella Domenici join us on the phone. And as tomorrow's the big day, Election Day, so she's doing last-minute push, reaching all over the state, talking to voters that have not voted yet. So we'll talk with Nella next hour. Stay tuned. News up next.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The presidential candidates are scrambling to win the support of whatever undecided voters may remain. Former President Trump in Georgia last night sending a message to Democratic opponent Kamala Harris and urging voters to do the same thing.
You're the worst vice president in the history of our country. It's the worst administration in the history of our country. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Get out. You're fired.
Harris insisting that she is optimistic ahead of Election Day.
I am feeling great.
Harris speaking in Detroit today. Pennsylvania will be the focus of her campaign efforts.
Harris wraps up her presidential bid with an all-day, all-out swing through the Keystone State, her 18th trip to Pennsylvania since launching her candidacy. She's making stops in 5 cities that will take her across the state and back before a closing event in Philadelphia, as she delivers a final pitch to mobilize voters.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston reporting from his tour of the Blue Wall states. Former President Trump will be holding multiple rallies today. He has events planned in North Carolina as well as in Pennsylvania and in Michigan. Parts of Oklahoma on guard for the possibility of more severe weather. At least 11 people injured yesterday morning when powerful storms ripped the roofs off buildings, tossing cars around and leaving tens of thousands of homes and businesses without power. In flood-ravaged eastern Spain, 217 bodies recovered so far. An unknown number of people are still missing. A crowd of enraged flood survivors pelted the Spanish royal couple with mud and rocks during their visit to the disaster zone. Watching Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is down about 113 points, while the Nasdaq trading 1 point higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Indonesian disaster management officials say at least 10 people have died as a series of volcanic eruptions widens on one of Indonesia's remote islands.
Mount Lewatobi Laki-Laki, one of a pair of prominent volcanic peaks at the eastern end of the island of Flores, has been erupting on and off since last December, and there was already an official warning to stay more than 3 kilometers away from it. But after two big eruptions last night sent a fiery shower of hot ash and rocks onto the village of Clatanlo, the exclusion area has been widened to 7 kilometres. The prolonged volcanic activity there this year has badly affected the local economy. Hundreds of people have left their homes and been sheltering in schools, and cashew nut farmers have complained that their crops have been ruined.
The BBC's Jonathan Head. 3 Chinese astronauts have returned to Earth after a 6-month stay on China's space station. News and analysis, townhall.com. Just how big of a TV do you really need?
Forget that puny 65-inch TV that was bigger than average just a few years ago. Now retailers are rolling out more XXL screens measuring more than 8 feet across. That's wider than a 3-seat sofa. Supersized TVs accounted for only 1.7% of all TV revenues in the first 9 months of the year. However, companies preparing for Christmas have reason to think the Ultra category will be a very bright spot in the TV market. Jason Walker reporting.
A hurricane watch for the Cayman Islands. A tropical storm warning is up for Jamaica. The National Hurricane Center says a storm system in the Caribbean is expected to become a hurricane and could bring heavy rain to Cuba and Florida, as well as possibly the northern coast of the Gulf of Mexico later in the week. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Oh, Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Jocelyn. Mr. Smalls, Sean is out of pocket this morning. He'll be back tomorrow. He's went out of town for a little R&R. Be back actually later today. So thank you, Jocelyn, for filling in for our deuces and traces today. I know it sounds weird out of context, but if you know, you know. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Had a great weekend, of course. Busy weekend. Of course, rain was also in the forecast past weekend. Friday, Saturday got a little squirrely. Hopefully, folks did well through that. A lot of it looks like just from stuff I was seeing online over the weekend. Roswell got a little bit, but I think part south. Dexter Hagerman, I saw they got a little bit more than we did, and so hopefully everybody's doing okay down there this morning and all that. And of course, here in Roswell, we got more of a weird soaking rain yesterday. It was on and off soaking rains. That was kind of nice. Hopefully that didn't impact people too bad. So I was like, can't we just get that instead of that other stuff? But anyway, the weather shifted, and of course now playoff football is in full swing here for high school. They had seedings and everything else. Roswell, Artesia, and Goddard here are all represented in the 5A playoffs this year. Artesia and of course Roswell's the 1 seed. Artesia's the 2 seed. Goddard is a 10 seed. The top 4 seeds are on a bye this week, so Roswell and Artesia get the week off. Goddard will be in action as a 10 seed. They are traveling to the 7th seed, the Lovington Wildcats. That game will take place at 1 p.m. on Saturday in Lovington. We will have that game for you on the radio for sure. It looks like 106.5. That's where we're going. We're still kind of tabulating on that, but we'll have it here on the radio for sure. If it's not at 106.5, then at 106.10, but more than likely it's going to be at 106.5. We are in the middle of procuring video permissions for that one, so if more than likely we'll be okay for this week. When we get to high school playoffs, it gets a little squirrely on rights because we do not have video rights to football playoffs or any playoffs, high school playoffs. That is ProView owns those. NMAA they own the rights to that, the ProView folks. So we in essence have to get permission, and by permission I mean pay for the right to do that if they'll sell it to us. And generally that happens if they're not sending a crew to cover the game, and those first couple rounds where there's a lot more games and they don't really cover out here. So more than likely they're going to let us do the Lovington game. But I'll warn you now, as we get farther into, especially when we get to the semifinals, we probably will not get the rights to video those. It'll be audio only from our perspective. You'll have to purchase them through ProView. But right now we're trying to work that in. I'm going to say this week and possibly next week, those first games for Roswell and Artesia as well. By the way, if Goddard wins, whoever wins the Lovington and Goddard game will face Artesia in the next round of the playoffs. So there's your, we're not all going kind of thing. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge next week. But more than likely we'll have video rights for those as well. But just past next week, video rights will probably not happen. Just if studying history and how it usually is, that's probably how it's going to go. But whatever we can video and whatever we can bring, we will do that for you. And although we do not have officially permission yet for this weekend, more than likely we will have video for you for the Goddard and Lovington matchup on Saturday. Again, that's at 1 o'clock. Let's see. Okay, sorry. We were actually in the middle of having a conversation via the text about this right during news earlier, so we're still hammering that out. But that's kind of we've got a few other things we're just balancing and moving around and juggling to figure it out. So that's what we're doing. Couple other things I want to mention here. Of course, tomorrow being Election Day, if you have not voted early, then tomorrow is your day to do so. There are the different voting convenience centers all over Chavez County. You can vote in any one of them. It does not matter where you live in Chavez County. You can vote at any of those. It's been like that for several election cycles now, and it's now that we're kind of in the groove, it's kind of handy. But for those that did not early vote, tomorrow's your day. Please go vote. Go vote. Educate yourself and vote. Hopefully you're doing that if you're waiting till Election Day. Hopefully you're out doing your thing. Stick around. We're going to have Senate candidate Nella Domenici join us here in about 5 minutes to talk to folks here one last time before they go to the polls tomorrow here. But it's kind of an interesting election this year, and from here in our perspective here in Roswell, because a lot of the local stuff has been decided. Pretty much, who's your county commissioners, who's your those folks, sheriffs. I mean, that's all pretty much done, because of primaries. There wasn't opposition in a lot of the primaries on those. But, when you get to, U.S. House, U.S. Senate, and certainly the presidential race, that's when they're getting pretty big on here, and even a few state level decisions there to make. And another thing I do want to remind folks that if you are voting tomorrow, flip that ballot over and look at those bonds and those different. I believe there's a couple constitutional questions on there too, if I remember right. I voted about 2 weeks ago, so I've slept since then. But I do remember there's a few study. Do your homework on those. They're going to ask you about retaining judges. They're going to, and those bonds, like of course we had various educational entities talking with us here about Bond 3 and all that, covering schools. They always tell you, please look at those, vote on those. Those are good. It's money that's already been earmarked. They'll issue the bond. They got to get the permission of the public to do that. It's not going to be a tax increase. It's already money earmarked for this. We just need the permission to open the bond so they can do this. And each school has money, the money they're going to receive earmarked for certain projects. It's going to be a lot of renovation work out at NMMI. Of course, they're going to focus a lot of the money at Eastern New Mexico University here in Roswell on the aviation technology facilities over there at the campus. And so that's what that money's for. And same thing with Senior Center, I believe there's one. And then there's one about libraries. And that's for libraries, for city public libraries to school libraries and everything in between. Just vote yes on those. That's money that good resources for our community. But other than that, you vote how you vote on those other ones. But I can tell you, if you want nice things in your town, you should vote yes on those bonds things. That's what they're for. So anyway, let's do this. It is 8:14. I'm waiting on a phone call from Nella Dominici here. She should be calling any minute. So let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers around the area today with a cold front moving through. Partly cloudy skies and very gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. This afternoon's high in the upper 50s to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, cloudy and windy, are low in the mid to upper 30s. And then we're back to sunny weather on Tuesday. Highs in the upper 60s, 70 and sunny on Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 51 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 71%. Winds are out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. They're telling us a 30% chance we could see some showers after 2 p.m. today. Partly cloudy, cool for today. We're not even getting to 60. 57 our expected high. With winds out of the southwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. All right, let's do this. Looks like my guest is calling in. We're going to take a quick break, about a 1-minute break. We'll talk with Nella Dominici on the other side. Don't go away.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair, Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run, Walk, and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, Walk or Run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your 4-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit Wounded Warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnn.com/veterans-mission-5K.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning is U.S. Senate candidate here for the state of New Mexico, Nella Dominici, on the phone this morning. Good morning, ma'am. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine. Lots of energy on my team. How are you?
Doing well. Of course, this is crunch time. I know just a minute ago we were talking off air and kind of been just the last 2 days just trying to turn over every rock and beat every bush and just visit as many, or through either, in face or on the phone, as many constituents as possible. So kind of, doing that. What's been the finger on the pulse? What's kind of been some of the things people are talking to you about? What's been some of the stuff citizens around the state have been talking to you about?
Yeah, well, so we really, for the last week, we have been traveling all around the state going to get out the vote events. And so we do have our, boots on the ground, fingers on the pulse of things. And in addition to traveling around the state, everywhere from being up in Farmington and Gallup to over in Lovington and Artesia, your neighborhood, and down into Las Cruces and the border. In addition to all of that traveling and lots of time in Albuquerque, we've also attended the Trump rally.
Yes.
And it sort of gave us a microcosm of all the energy that's going on in the state and the momentum. The momentum is extraordinary. There are a lot of Democrats who are very, very angry at the situation in New Mexico and very frustrated with their party, and who've already voted for us and who are continuing to push and get out the vote. And for example, at the Trump event where I was there and I was able to speak, I probably met 1,000 people a good 25%, maybe a third of them were Democrats at that event.
Wow.
Coming up to me, hugging me, saying, I already voted for you. I was a lifelong Democrat. I changed, or I'm still a Democrat, but I'm voting for you and Trump.
So it was a lot more partisan there than the media's letting on.
Oh, it was very partisan.
Interesting.
And the Democrats that came up to me were all ages. I had a 19-year-old come up to me, and I had a 91-year-old woman in a wheelchair, and everything in between. So there were all ages and people from all over the state. Some people slept over there, just to make sure they got a good seat.
Mm-hmm.
But there really were people from northern New Mexico and from Hobbs and Farmington and Las Cruces. So it was really like all of New Mexico in a microcosm there, very enthusiastic for change, knowing that New Mexico needs change.
And I imagine for, as you as a person and as a candidate, that's the stuff that fuels because I imagine, every candidate, you have those days and you're like, what am I doing? Spinning your wheels. And then you have days like that kind of recharge the battery a little bit for you, I would imagine.
Well, I really love meeting people individually.
Yeah.
For me, it's just the way I am as a person.
Sure.
So even at the Trump event, my team was ready to go, and I was like, no, guys, we're staying here. There are more people that want me to sign their hat or give me a hug or get a photo, and I was just all in. There's also the Hispanic population is really on our side.
Sure.
It's been all along, but you could really also feel that and see it at that event.
Well,
and the Native... Go ahead.
I was going to say, it kind of, it makes sense. And that's something I've always talked about. When you look at Hispanic, they're very family values, very, that's, I'm not saying everyone, but atypically that's very Hispanic culture. And quite frankly, that's the temple of the Republican Party is that family values, family. So it very much makes sense that they share a lot of, same ideologies there. You know what I mean? And that's, so
they share so many philosophies. But also, I think one woman brought this white binder that was about 4 inches thick, and she said, this is my paperwork from 17 years applying and working to become a citizen. And she's a citizen now, a Hispanic citizen. But she said, that's how long it took, and there's thousands of legal bills along with that white binder, And so they feel completely like they're treated unfairly when these people just walk across the border and get a hotel room and a credit card.
They do it the right way, and they busted their hump, and it's a real sense of pride and accomplishment in their lives. And you're absolutely right. How would any of us feel if you had to do it the hard way and then basically said you just earned the highest ranks of whatever you're going to do? Oh, by the way, this guy just got here yesterday. We're going to let him do it too.
Right.
How are you going to feel about that?
So there's really a lot of momentum, and we want to make sure people lean into that momentum and go vote tomorrow, because the momentum without a vote isn't worth it. We need the momentum and the votes, and then we can really have a true change of leadership here.
I'm sorry.
Transforming our state starts with new leadership, and people need to hold Martin Heinrich accountable for what he's done. I've given him a report card, and he deserves to own that report card. I don't know if you've heard about it, but in the debates, both of them, I started off with, he's been here 12 years. We need to hold him accountable just like everybody else in the business world and all of our kids in school. And his report card is just loaded with F's. Number one in crime, number one in drug usage, number one in doctors leaving, worst education, worst economic development, which means jobs, worst early childhood health and well-being, 49th ranked by U.S. News and World Report. I mean, how much worse can it get? It's just one F after another, and people need to just call a spade and fire him.
Well, it makes me very interesting when you see the mudslinging side of these campaigns, and folks have been seeing the ad campaigns going back and forth between yourself and Senator Heinrich, and it's all ridiculous. And to be honest, this is the part I like to tell folks, and it's like, at the end of the day, we can say these things and who that, but it's about issues. And look at the facts here. New Mexico, my entire time here and pretty much the entire existence of New Mexico as a state has been ranked last in pretty much every category of major concern, from education to crime to resources to everything else. They treat us like we're a broke state. We're not a broke state. We're a very financially well-off state. Our resources don't get used properly or get out. And so my question or my point to people is you keep voting the same people in, or the same types of people in every time, and we consistently are 50th or 49th in the state in these so many categories. At what point are you going to realize that saying maybe we should stop putting in the same people, the same type of people in office every single time? It's time for that change, and that's kind of the point you're making, Nell, is, it's time to stop doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's time to do something different.
Exactly, and it's pretty straightforward. We need a leader like me who will secure the border, who will support law enforcement, stand up to criminals, who understands how excessive spending causes inflation, and will represent real New Mexicans in Washington to make sure cost of living is low. Mm-hmm. And I've already proven, my husband and I have really worked hard in education in New Mexico. We've founded a bipartisan organization that's changed the life of 9,000 students who are in our charter schools, in our 14 charter schools. So we've been able to put the spotlight on education and say we can be actually very, very strong in this area.
Sure.
And we can be, we don't have to be the leader in crime, and we don't have to have the widest open border with the most problems.
Sure.
These things are changeable and fixable. But you know what? The simple reality of it is we're an oil and gas state, and
Absolutely.
we need an oil and gas leader. That is the most simple notion, and everyone should think hard about that. Martin Heinrich should be president of the Sierra Club. He should not be running a state that's an oil and gas state.
I'm just a Jewish curious question, because obviously, because of your experience and obviously your father as being, a longtime respected and beloved leader of New Mexico, when, obviously you were a fly on the wall for some of the days when your dad was doing dealings as a senator and things. Just from perspective now, is it a lot different? Like how you saw your dad operate versus how it operates today? Is it night and day different from your experience, or is there similarities?
So I think I now understand him much better than I did, say 20 years ago. And the reason for that is it's amazing, but everywhere I go, people come up to me and talk to me about how my dad influenced their life.
Sure.
So for example, at the Trump event, I met 1,000 people, probably 300 of them brought up my dad. Like literally they would say, your dad helped me get into college, or your dad took care of my mother who had a nursing home problem. It's just endless.
Yeah.
So I think he was very, very unique in that he was truly authentically bipartisan.
Yes.
And he I now know with his staff, they were not allowed to bring ideas to him unless they couldn't say we've won a new policy unless they had a bipartisan team ready to support it.
Gotcha.
He wouldn't waste his time on it. And so he was rare, though, because he could create game-changing legislation that would change the country. Like he could manage the United States budget, right, and change the country. But he also cared individually about so many people. And that's a really rare ability, a really rare focus, and he was great at it.
Well,
and
and that's the lesson that you probably rubbed off and said that as a senator, I want to do the same kind of thing to get things done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to focus both on the individual level and really be in touch at the very individual level, and then also have the courage to try to do some very, transformational policies.
Absolutely.
So, like, securing the border is a transformational set of acts. It doesn't have to take forever, but someone needs to go fight that battle and get it done between January and February of next year.
Absolutely. And something, I know we only got a minute here, and I want to ask this, and I want to give you a chance to kind of wrap up here, but from as a senator, what's, obviously when it comes to some of the day-to-day operations in New Mexico, that's governors and other people's jobs. But as a senator, just to kind of remind people what exactly, maybe because of what we've been missing from a senator, what's the type of things that the senator should be doing for us? Because I don't think people realize that, we haven't really gotten what we're supposed to be getting from our Senate leadership in this state.
Actually, our Senate leaders have hurt. Martin Heinrich has hurt this state. So our senator needs to care a lot about agriculture, needs to care about, our cattle ranchers, our chili growers, our dairy farmers. Our senator needs to promote oil and gas energy, not sabotage it. Of course, our senators need to promote all kinds of energy, but they cannot be sabotaging oil and gas. They need to make sure that we're real leaders in that area. Our senator needs to fight crime, and there's lots of federal aspects to fighting crime. It starts with making sure the FBI is here to fight fentanyl at the border, to fight cartels in Albuquerque, which are now spreading throughout the entire state. Our senator needs to fight for more money for border control to make sure there's more border patrol there. So there's an endless list of things that the senators should be doing, and they're not doing them. And in fact, in many ways, they're doing the opposite. So they're hurting our farmers, our ranchers. They're hurting the oil and gas industry. They're hurting our car dealers. They're hurting our home builders through regulation. So it really goes on and on in terms of how our current senators are hurting our state.
Absolutely. I just want to kind of give, because, when you've been doing one thing a certain way the whole time, you may not realize what you're actually supposed to be getting. And then when you realize it, you're like, oh, okay, that's way different than I thought, you know what I mean?
You're exactly right. 100% right.
Well, I know time is short, and you've got some other folks you've got a lot of people to visit around the state here in the next 24 hours. But before we let you go, I want to kind of give you a last chance. Anything we didn't cover, anything that you want to, any message you want to get out there that we just didn't get a chance to cover?
I just want to really reemphasize that, there's great momentum in this race. There's great momentum at the presidential level. And people need to be excited about that and get out and vote and join the momentum.
Excellent.
And remember, hold Martin Heinrich accountable for that report card, and let's move forward and have a change of leadership. Let's lean into the momentum.
Your elected officials do work for you. They answer to you at the end of the day. So that's how it's supposed to be. Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck with the campaign, and thank you to Enrique for making this happen. And anything, assuming you are senator here after all the dust settles tomorrow, anything we can do to help or anytime you need time with our listeners, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Great. Thank you. And everyone, go vote. Go vote. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Don't work too hard, ma'am. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. All right, that was Senate candidate Nella Domenici. Thank you for your time there. You can, if you missed any part of that, we'll upload it later here. But if you do want to listen, that might want to go listen before you go vote tomorrow. All right, it is 8:30. Let's do this. Let's pause for news and a quick commercial break. I've got some time. I think I'm going to play my interview I had with Hayden Hill talking about Veterans Day, which is coming up here on Thursday at Goddard. For their deal. So I'm going to talk with Jocelyn and make sure, but I'm just looking, we got some time here. So, but first, let's pause for news. Chaves County Sports Update, quick break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. With the flooding requiring a long-term closure of the Roswell Convention Center, this month's regular meeting of the Roswell City Council has now been moved to the Community Development Service Conference Room. That's located in the Sun West Center at 500 North Main Street, Suite 100. The next City Council meeting is scheduled for November 14th. In addition, the Chaves County Clerk's Office has removed the Convention Center as a polling place for Tuesday's election. The site has been replaced by St. Andrew's Episcopal Church at 505 North Pennsylvania Avenue. Meanwhile, the President of the United States has approved Roswell and Chaves County's request for a declaration of a major disaster due to the flooding. The action will release FEMA funding to support in the recovery efforts. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has since classified last month's flooding as a 500-year flood event. A hotline remains set up at 833-663-4736. for any questions residents might have. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The playoff brackets are here, and for the Roswell Coyotes, and this is all football, Roswell is the top seed in Class 5A after thumping Goddard 27-0, finishing 8-1 overall and 6-1 in district. They'll take on the winner of Miyamura and Highland, so they've got a bye this coming weekend. Goddard, meanwhile, still in the playoff picture. They will be playing this Saturday at Lovington against the 7th seeded Wildcats. Goddard is the 10th seed. That game starts at 1 o'clock. Dexter has a bye past the first round, Class 3A. They're the second seed. They'll take on the winner of Hatch Valley and Pewaukee. NMMI is in action this Friday night against Hot Springs, a team they've played before. They're the 5th seed. Hot Springs is the 12th seed. Gateway Christian plays Saturday at 1 o'clock against Clayton. Clayton defeated Cuesta on Friday night. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers around the area today with a cold front moving through. Partly cloudy skies and very gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. This afternoon's high in the upper 50s to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, cloudy and windy, our low in the mid to upper 30s, and then we're back to sunny weather on Tuesday. Highs in the upper 60s, 70, and sunny on Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished higher on Friday, a strong start to November for the market after what was a challenging October. Investors looked past the disappointing October government jobs report as analysts had been predicting upwards of 100,000 positions added to the economy. In fact, just 12,000 new jobs were added, and the unemployment rate held steady at 4.1% in October. Construction spending ticked up to a 4-month high in September, and the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI for October also rose. Still, the reading remains below the 50 no change mark for the 4th month in a row. Today on the economic calendar, look for September's factory orders. Amazon popped on Friday, leading tech shares higher. The online retail giant gained on strength in the cloud and advertising business. Amazon exceeded Wall Street's estimates for earnings, and Intel popped after beating analysts' forecasts for revenue and guidance. Fast food giant Wendy's planning to close about 140 of its burger restaurants by the end of the year. At the closing bell on Friday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 289 points. The S&P 500 gained 0.41%, and the NASDAQ Composite gained 0.80%. That's the market report, and I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Attention equipment owners, selling your ag or construction assets doesn't have to be a hassle. Purple Wave Auction does all the heavy lifting for you. We're the full-service, no-reserve online auction experts. No need to haul your equipment. We come to you, photograph everything right where it sits, and showcase it to buyers nationwide. From listing to payment collection, let Purple Wave Auction simplify your selling experience. Register for free at purplewave.com.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia, or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chaves County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6, and in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 37 minutes after 8 o'clock. So, got a few minutes here. So, last week we had Hayden Hill join us, coach, teacher from Goddard High School. Of course, he's been a long-time teacher and coach in our community here, so many generations probably know him, just depending on as a teacher or coach. But anyway, one of his other passion projects is Veterans Day, and with Veterans Day officially next week, of course, this Saturday is the Veterans Parade and Veterans Ceremony on the courthouse lawn. But on Thursday, the 7th, is the Goddard High School's Veterans Presentation at Goddard High School. and every year they go over the top with it. So Hayden joined us for an interview last week to talk a little bit about this Thursday's Veterans Assembly at Goddard High. So figured we'll play that interview for you now since I got a few minutes. So here's Hayden Hill from Goddard High talking about this Thursday's Veterans Assembly at Goddard High School. Enjoy. And welcome back to the school.
Yes, sir.
They do include Veterans Day as part of their program, part of what they do, their curriculum. And so I love that, to see that. Yes. And so we want to invite everyone to as many of those as you can go to.
Yes, sir.
Check with your schools if you got kids or grandkids at their schools. Odds are pretty good. They've got a Veterans Assembly going on at their school. Please make all efforts possible to attend those if you can.
Yes.
But we would like to invite the public out to Goddard's as well, and to all the others too.
Yes.
But of course, Hayden, how many years now have you been doing the Goddard Veterans
This
program?
is our 16th year.
16th year. And have you been involved in all 16?
Yes, sir.
I'm about to say, because put it this way. I don't. There's a lot of people that I mention your name. It's like, oh, he was my history teacher. Or he was my basketball coach. So there's a lot of people that know you with various hats, obviously.
Yes.
But Veterans Day is one of the ones you've adopted over the last 16 years.
Yes,
here.
sir.
And I always say this: is Goddard every year they turn into a rock concert. What they really do. You guys do an amazing job of showing the importance of why we celebrate Veterans Day and why our veterans are important in our society.
Yeah.
But to just make the veterans feel that love too.
Yes.
Where and you know as well as I do, veterans by and large aren't always the most. They're not spotlight people.
Yes.
By and large, I mean, of course, there's everybody's got somebody, but by and large, veterans are more under the radar.
Yes,
people.
sir.
And so they tend to not always want to come and be celebrated.
Yes.
I hope you would put that aside and come check out what Goddard's got going on this year, because you guys do an amazing job every year. So.
Well, we appreciate it. We do it for two reasons. One, we want to honor the veterans. Some of them have never been thanked. And we have a lot of them that say that they didn't want to come, and once they came, they were glad they came. And the second thing, to show that young people do respect the flag. They respect our veterans. They stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. So it's kind of a two-way street that we try and accomplish.
Absolutely. And by and large, too, some of those folks that are in the audience, we're going to need them to step into those roles, too, at some point.
Yes, sir.
Some of those young men and women that are in that gym on November 7th here, they're going to be putting on that uniform too and doing their duty for our country. So we hope we inspire that generation too to do that. So,
yes, sir.
Absolutely. So let's talk nuts and bolts. What's up your sleeve for this year's Veterans Assembly? What events? What kind of things you got going on?
Okay, it'll start about 1:00 for the veterans and their families. Any member of the family or friends, they'll come to Goddard a little bit before 1:00. We'll have the fire department out there with the flag. We'll have the honor guard. We'll have music and everything, and then they'll be escorted into the little theater where we'll have snacks and a get-together.
Little reception.
A reception.
A pre-party.
Yeah, pre-party. And then about 1:20, the music will be coming, and the military will start off and turn and salute as they come in, and you'll have a little over 1,000 kids cheering them on.
Yep.
And then
and you're underestimating that a little. I mean, you say that it literally is. That's the rock concert part.
Yes.
I tell you, it's literally like the Kansas City Chiefs walked out onto the field.
Yeah, it really
for the
is.
Super Bowl.
And one thing I'd like to say here, you'd be shocked at the number of people that work months and months to really try and make this special. And then ours is a little bit different from a lot of others in that we don't have speeches. It's all kind of pomp and ceremony,
Sure.
and we have videos come down from the screen and
more pep rally like.
More pep rally like.
Yeah.
And this year again, for the second year in a row, we're going to have a World War II veteran that
Excellent.
flew missions over the Battle of the Bulge.
We're blessed to have
Yes.
them. Quite frankly, folks. there's going to be a year where they're not going to have them because there's not going to be any left. So
Yeah.
while we got them, we want to celebrate them as much as possible. So,
Yeah.
that's great that we're still, and it's, and I hope the kids that are there I hope they take that in and understand you're seeing someone that, like, quite frankly, you're getting an opportunity that many people aren't going to get a chance to get here very soon.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's a cool thing. So I'm so glad that we do have a World War II veteran that, and we'll put a special spotlight on that person that on the event here.
Without a doubt, the one we had last year, he came to our assembly, and when it was over, he said one of the best things he ever did. He turned 100 years old the next month, and then shortly after that died, and. So we're going to do something special, kind of a Paul Harvey, the rest of the story for him.
Oh, great.
And then one thing we're going to do this year, because we want to honor everybody, and we do, but we want to also put a little emphasis today on the young people that were in Iraq and Afghanistan and the war against
our
terror.
Newest veterans.
Our newest veterans.
Yeah.
We're going to do something special for them.
Yeah, and this is something too and this is where we need, and where we use Veterans Day as a platform too, is that reminder to those veterans and the mental health. We're obviously, all of us, we want to check on each other's mental health, but the veterans world, it's a little bit of a higher, more risk situation.
Yes, sir.
And so it is a reminder. And to be honest, that's the generation of veterans that we're focusing most on right now, because they're the ones that are dealing with the bigger issues coming from Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever they've served. And trust me, other war times veterans know you see and deal with things, and no matter how much other people want to understand, if you haven't been there, it's really hard to understand. No matter how much you want to, it really just is hard.
Yes.
So it's great to see that we're focusing on our younger vets, and we're even seeing that, like, nationally through our, like, American Legions and VFWs, where you're starting to see they are trying to shift gears and saying, hey, this isn't for the 60, 70-year-old, curmudgeons on the bar stool anymore. This is for our 20 and 30-something veteran-year-old veterans we have now. So, and so it is a focus that not all veterans look like me. Some of them look like you and younger folks here too nowadays, and we got to remember that.
Yeah. And we thank you for your service, through the years, with whether you've been out in public in Roswell or the radio station. You not only served in the military, but you've continued to serve for our community.
Well,
thank you.
I try to. This is pot calling kettle black, because you have that server's heart too, and just your work alone on this, but outside of this, just your coaching career, your teaching career, you've impacted a lot of lives yourself.
Well, thank you very much.
And so it's awesome that we see that you do this, and it's great. And to be honest, I think you got a point where it's you have the young people now, and they know you as the Veterans Day guy. You get so it's great to see that we're getting new generations, and you're influencing that as well. But we do want to make sure we would love to honor veterans. Please come. If you don't feel comfortable coming out to Veterans Assembly, I get it, but please try the Goddard one. Come on out here now. I don't think we've given actually pretty detail. The actual assembly day will be on November 7th. It'll be at Goddard High School.
Yes.
Like I said, we'll have the pre-party there from about 1 to 1:25. That's where we'll have light refreshments and music and all that. And then around 1:25 or so, you'll kind of get ushered into the gym, and that's when the big party starts. And obviously free. Just bring yourself, bring your family.
Yes.
Love to have you come, and we want to pack ground zero there from floor to rafter with folks. Honoring and it's a celebration. That's what it is. It's we say Veterans Day. It's to celebrate and honor our veterans. Well, that's exactly what they're doing in there.
Yes.
It's not focusing on the hard part of being a veteran. It's focusing on, you're a veteran, you're amazing, and we're in a great place because you did what you did. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. And one thing I like to throw in also is the Veterans Day Parade is coming up, and we as a community. we pack the place on 4th of July and the Fair Day and stuff. And a lot of veterans that won't go to a school will be walking in that parade. And it would be really cool for our community if we could literally pack those roads. Talk to your kids about it before, and let's get everybody there. And when that flag comes by, we stand and honor them. It's not real long, but it'd be very important if we could fill that road for the parade.
Yep, it is something that and I know you folks, we hear it a lot and we say it a lot, but it really, really is true. It's everything that you love about this country and the freedoms we enjoy. Is this country perfect? Oh, absolutely not. But there's not many places on the planet that you can enjoy and do the things and live the life you live. And trust me, as a veteran, as a person that's seen life in other parts of the world, you do not realize how good you have it and what you take for granted. Even in places that you think are like us, your Englands, your Australias, they're not exactly the same. Yeah. They're not quite the same. And your rights, your freedoms, what you can do aren't exactly the same. And you don't realize it until it comes under attack. And so that's the only reason you get to do it. And all the things we get to enjoy, it's because a veteran said that they're willing to do what they're willing to do. And that's the only way we preserve that. We're human beings, and to preserve freedom, you've got to be strong enough to keep it. And that's what those veterans do. They ensure we get to keep it. And so that's why we do that.
We start off our Veterans Assembly, by the way, saying, look before you. Every one of those veterans were willing to die for you.
Yeah. And this is the thing, too. Regardless of when you served or where you served or what you served, I don't care if you were sitting in a foxhole, sitting in a fighter jet, or sitting in a kitchen in a tent somewhere. It doesn't matter. All those roles are vital to the mission. And every person that signed that name and their contract, giving their life to Uncle Sam to 4 to 6 or however many years you were in it, it's different. You don't, because your whole life is given up for that. You're no longer protected by the Constitution. You've basically given up your constitutional rights to say, I'm going to protect this country. Because if you do get in trouble or you do something, guess what? You're under UCMJ. The rules don't apply to you. And there are things in the UCMJ that you are constitutionally protected against. Things like double jeopardy, stuff like that. Military people are subject to that stuff that civilians aren't. And so that's just other things that you don't realize, that by signing your name on that dotted line, that's what you're giving up. So that's why we celebrate veterans. We celebrate all veterans, ones that got the medals full of Purple Hearts and all that stuff, to the ones that fortunately their jobs didn't require them to have to do it, but by golly, they were sitting in the middle of somewhere working on an air conditioner or making sure hot meals are served to all the troops there. That's just as big a role. And trust me, every person sitting in a foxhole and flying in a jet, they appreciate those people that cook good food and make sure their accommodations are decent and all that stuff. So all roles are valuable as a veteran. So I know I got way talking too much. I do that.
No, you were great. You were great.
I'm just curious though. What is it that drives you? What's for 16 years and to have your passion to make sure that this goes off the way it does. What's your driving factor?
Well, I never. My dad died before I ever knew him, and people that I was around, a lot of them were military people.
Gotcha.
And patriotic people, and it just impacted my life. And I still see people, like you, on a daily basis. I didn't serve, but this was maybe a way for me and all the people at Goddard to maybe do our small part.
Sure. Well, it is. It's greatly appreciated, and it's so great that you do this and inspire others. And to be honest, by doing this, you're actually inspiring the next generations of veterans and things like that. These kids that we're seeing in classrooms, and some of them are going to be sent off to places and things down the road, and because they're willing to do that, is people like you that gave them the inspiration to want to protect and want to be a part of this. So we appreciate that.
One thing I like to say is I get a lot of credit for this, and And
there is a lot of moving parts.
And the truth is that it's unbelievable how many people that make this, there is no way I could do it. So it's a lot of people that believe in our country that want to be a part of it.
But it's also got to a point, too, where it's now tradition.
Yes.
So now everyone's almost like, all right, Hayden, what are we doing again? You know, it's the phone calls start up and go.
Yes,
so, and that's a beloved thing to see. And quite frankly, I hope it continues long after you said, you know what, I'm going to pass that baton to someone else.
Yes, sir.
At some point. So, but folks, come on out again. November 7th is Goddard High School's Veterans Assembly. Please take note. Roswell High will be having one right around the same time, and pretty much all the middle and elementary schools will be as well. Talk with your grandparents or grandkids and kids and nieces and nephews and see, try to line up and be a part of that and all as well. But come make a point to make a time to come out to Goddard's Veteran Assembly again, November 7th. 1 p.m. is when the reception starts. The assembly starts at 1:30. Usually you're done, about 2:30 or so.
Yeah, around 2:40 you'll be this year.
So you'll be out early afternoon, and then you can go on to what the rest of the day brings you here. But love to have you come out, and trust me, you're going to come in and you're going to come out and you're like, wow, that was bigger. And I'm hyped it, but it's not enough. It really you don't do you justice till you walk in and see it. So please be a part. And Hayden, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we anything else we can to help you with, let me know, and we'll be happy to.
Thank you very much.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo.
The rest of the day brings you here, but love to have you come out and trust me, you're going to come in and you're going to come out and you're like, wow, that was bigger. And I'm hyped it, but it's not enough. It really you don't do you justice till you walk in and see it. So please be a part. And Hayden, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we anything else we can to help you with, let me know, and we'll be happy to.
Thank you very much.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair, Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run Walk and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, Walk or Run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your 4-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit Wounded Warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnn.com/veterans-mission-5K.
Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chavez County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6. And in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
The weather is changing, and what is cooler than being at the Cow? Well, we can't think of anything. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell is your authorized Brothers Sewing Machine dealer for Southeast New Mexico, and they're all on sale right now at the Calico Cow. New fabric styles for fall are here, and holiday and Christmas fabrics continue to arrive daily. If you're still stitched to your own machine and you just want a tune-up, call for in-house maintenance, 575-639-2586. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the Cow.
Illegal immigrants stream across our border. Crime flows into our neighborhoods. Money pours from our pockets. The Biden-Harris agenda is harming every one of us. But President Donald Trump and Republican candidates across New Mexico are standing up to stop it. President Trump will secure our border to stop the crime and drugs endangering our families. He will support our brave law enforcement and give them the tools to keep you safe. Trump will fight to lower government spending and bring down prices on groceries and gas, so life can be a little more affordable again. And because oil and gas funds New Mexico, Republicans will defend oil and gas jobs from the leftists who seek to destroy them. Stop the dangerous Democrat agenda and take back our future. New Mexico needs conservative voices in Washington, Santa Fe, and in your community. Vote for President Trump and Republicans this Tuesday. Paid for by the Republican Party of New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best, or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today, 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent Sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. For those who haven't voted already, tomorrow is the day, and the presidential candidates making an all-out effort to win the backing of undecided voters. Former President Trump at a rally in North Carolina.
If you vote on Tuesday, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of criminals coming into your country. Your country is under siege. We have criminals of all variety, murderers, drug dealers.
Mr. Trump calls Kamala Harris the worst vice president ever, and the Biden-Harris administration the worst in history. Harris is criticizing Mr. Trump for daring to question the outcome of the 2020 election.
I think that it is a tactic. It is meant to distract.
Mr. Trump planning 4 rallies today in crucial swing states, while Harris will focus on Pennsylvania. On the heels of yesterday's powerful storms, injured 11 people. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt says this is no time to let down your guard.
We've got more storms coming, so don't rely on the sirens. Make sure you're watching your news and your cell phone.
The governor's remarks aired by KOCO. The severe weather left tens of thousands of people without power. Boeing manufacturing workers voting today on a proposed contract. It offers a 38% pay boost over 4 years. The Boeing strike has lasted more than 7 weeks, shutting down production of most passenger planes, cutting off a key source of income for Boeing. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey was treated by paramedics yesterday after appearing to become unsteady during a campaign rally for a congressional candidate. An Ivey spokesman says Governor was dehydrated, was treated with fluids, and is now back home. On Wall Street, the Dow down 151 points. The Nasdaq is up 36, and the S&P trading 4 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The recurrent storms in eastern Spain that led to massive flooding last week, it killed more than 200 people, mostly near Valencia, are now dumping rain on Barcelona. The search efforts continue amid very challenging conditions.
The situation for rescue workers and the victims of last week's floods has become even more difficult. The Spanish Civil Guard says it's deployed more staff. The police are using search dogs and drones to help locate people who might be trapped in hard-to-reach areas. There's still no official figures. The numbers of people still unaccounted for.
The BBC's Bethany Bell. Germany's top diplomat has arrived in the Ukrainian capital, Kiev, an unannounced visit. It appears to be a show of European support for Ukraine on the eve of the U.S. presidential election and could result in big changes in American policy toward Ukraine in the midst of the ongoing war with Russia. News and analysis, townhall.com. The rich get richer. That's the case when it comes to one of the world's wealthiest men.
Warren Buffett is now sitting on more than $325 billion cash after continuing to unload billions of dollars worth of Apple and Bank of America shares this year and continuing to collect a steady stream of profits from all of Berkshire Hathaway's assorted businesses without finding any major acquisitions. Berkshire sold off roughly another $100 million of Apple shares in the third quarter after halving its massive investment in the iPhone maker last quarter. The stake, valued at $70 billion at the end of September, remains Berkshire's biggest single investment, but it has been cut drastically since the end of last year when it was worth $174.3 billion. Ron Taylor reporting.
For the fourth time in 5 months, orders for big-ticket manufactured goods tumbled in September, falling of 0.5%, according to the Commerce Department. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Truth and Miracles
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Jocelyn, for tracing the air and ocean man. Happy Monday, everybody. Sean is off this morning. He'll be back tomorrow. He's weekend of a little R&R, so he took off Saturday afternoon. Be back in town here this afternoon, so he'll be back then. So enjoying his some downtime here. Hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. Of course, weather played a bit of part of it, in the first part at least, and hopefully everyone better through the rains on Friday night, Saturday there, okay. And then we got kind of that soaking rains on Sunday. That was a nice change of pace. But cooler temps today, and of course now we turn our attention to, now that we're done with Halloween and all of that, turning into fall, and feeling like fall now, and weather's fall like football. high school playoffs, by the way. Roswell High, the 1 seed, Goddard, the 10 seed, Artesia Bulldogs, the 2 seed. Artesia and Roswell will be off this weekend. The top 4 seeds get a first-round bye. They will be in action next week. The Goddard Rockets is a 10 seed. They will play the 7th seed, the Lovington Wildcats. That game will take place 1 p.m. Saturday in Lovington. We will have that game for you. Radio for sure. Probably right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We will most likely have video streaming at KSV for you at ksvptv.com. Today's the day we'll try to lock down rights and all that for that. As I was talking about earlier in the show, we usually get the rights for the first round or two. This week and next week, I bet we'll be okay. But after that, it'll get a little dicey. So, and by semis and finals, we really have almost zero chance of getting those games. But you never know. But anyway, we'll have all of them for you on the radio regardless. So, but anyway, beginning Saturday here for Goddard as they take on Lovington. That should be a good game. That's Lovington's the 7 seed, Goddard the 10 seed. And then, of course, Gateway, they continue playoffs this weekend on Saturday. NMMI plays Friday night. And Dexter, they're a 2 seed. They're on a bye this week. They will wait till next week to find out to face up for their next game. They'll find out this weekend who their opponent is. So that's kind of the setup there for football and all of that here. Okay, I'll check that out. That's something else. I just got a text. Juggling several balls at once here. Something else I want to talk about, kind of just outside of all that stuff. But I'd been watching on Netflix that monster series about the Menendez brothers, and I really it was it not so much last week, but the week before in the news. It was on like for several days straight, where all kinds of celebrities, and of course the court case where they. I guess they did something last week where they can now make them eligible for parole or whatever it is. So now they might get a parole hearing, and so that now that they're back in the news, and they kind of said it was this documentary that kind of put it back in the spotlight. So I was like, oh, so all right, I'm curious. I'll go check out this documentary. So last week I started watching it, and I finished it up on I don't know, Friday or whatever day it was. I don't remember what it was. Probably not Friday. It was a busy day, but one of them days last week, And of course, one of the things I'd mentioned earlier in the week, how the Milli Vanilli's getting resurge because they use a lot of Milli Vanilli songs throughout the course of the series, and not spoiler alert how it ends and stuff because it's a true crime thing. They go to prison at the end for life, both of them. But it's kind of it. I will say this: the people that made the series. They went. It was kind of apropos a little bit to go with the Milli Vanilli stuff. Yeah, it was the song of the times and all of that, but just the parallels of the Milli Vanilli career and then the whole deal. It kind of makes sense here. So I don't. But what really kind of it was the crescendo that I almost call it a chef's kiss, if you will. At the end of the series, they're towards the end. They're showing them where they're going off to prison, and one of the brothers is getting in one of the vans, and the other's getting the other van, and they're dry getting on the interstate to go off to the separate prisons at which they're being sentenced at, and all that. But during that whole time, they're playing the Milli Vanilli song about it's so easy about the girl and. But it's it's just talking about it's all over now, and it was pretty just like, yep, that song fits this moment so good, and so it was kind of the way they ended it was a little poetic. I thought it was well done, but it was just kind of neat. But it's worth a watch if you like true crime documentary stuff, and then at the end of it, how I feel about the Menendez probably about the same I felt before going into it. These were. Are they kids that were abused? Yeah. Do I think they embellished? Yeah. Do I think they should be in jail for the rest of their lives? Yeah, probably. Yeah, they probably should. They went extreme. They were spoiled brats that went over the line, and the parents that fostered, I'm going to guess, some of it. I don't know if I believe all the allegations. You know, because there's allegations of sexual, rape and all these kinds of things, and I don't know. I think there's some weirdness. Part of me thinks, I'm not sure if that, some of it was made up. I think the dad was an alpha dog dad, and I think he was probably emotionally abusive a little bit. I think he probably said some of the things he said and did some of the things he, in terms of embarrassment in public and those kind of things. I believe. Some of the behind closed door stuff, I don't know. There maybe, but there's a lot of evidence to see they kind of trumped some of that stuff up and had a lot of influence on some of those things. But anyway, that's kind of how I walked away from it, the same way I'm going in. But anyway, it's worth a watch if you like it. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Oh, yes, I will do that. Thank you, Bob. I will do that. Gyra Ministries over at First Baptist Church in Roswell here. They're going to be open tomorrow from 1 to 5 p.m. If you have any needs for whatever, clothing, any other kind of resources and things like that, food, water, the immediate needs, but even some long-term stuff, they offer whatever they can. So that'll be at First Baptist Church, Gyra Ministries. They'll be open 1 to 5 tomorrow. So thanks, Bob, for sending me that shout out there. Okay, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Then in about shortly thereafter, after weather and all that, we're going to play our interview we had on Friday with Barbara Gomez from Main Street, Roswell. She talked mostly about Christmas. Now that we're kind of getting through the Halloween stuff, now we're turning our attentions to Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Christmas, and the light parade, and all the Christmas festivities with the tree, the lighting of the tree, and Santa, and all that. So we talk all that stuff. So we'll play that interview for you here. And the other side, maybe turn the brain towards Christmas things. We'll also get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers around the area today with a cold front moving through. Partly cloudy skies and very gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. This afternoon's high in the upper 50s to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, cloudy and windy, our low in the mid to upper 30s. And then we're back to sunny weather on Tuesday. Highs in the upper 60s, 70 and sunny on Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59%. Winds are out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. So we are looking at a 30% chance at some showers after 2 p.m. today. Partly cloudy. Temps right around 55, 56 today. Actually, they're saying it's supposed to rise to 55 by 11 and then fall to 47 after that. So it's not going to get that warm. Our high water mark is like around before noon here, and then it's supposed to get cooler later. Southwest winds 10 to 20, shifting to the more north later this afternoon here. So it might get a little windy, and like I said, could see some rain chances after 2 today. Tonight, mostly cloudy, but gradually clearing. Expect an overnight low of 33, so it's going to be chilly tonight. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny on Tuesday, mid-60s, 66 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 36 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For Wednesday, sunny and 68. So kind of gradually warming up slowly as the week progresses. But then I think Wednesday's the high water mark. It starts getting cooler on the other side of Thursday or Wednesday. But sunny and 68 for Wednesday with winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. There's a 30% chance of showers Wednesday night. They're talking late, like after 11. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 41 degrees. Thursday, they are talking a 60% chance at showers in the morning before 11 a.m. Mostly cloudy for the day with a high of 50 expected. Thursday night, we're also looking at a 60% chance at showers, mainly before 11 p.m., mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 40 degrees. Friday, a 30% chance at showers for the a.m., mainly before 11 a.m., mostly sunny, 55 for the day. And then looking at the weekend, sunny and 64 for Saturday. Sunday, looking at sunny skies with 66 for us. So, rain chances slight today, about 30%, and then we could be seeing some more rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday there. So we'll see. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Barbara Gomez from Friday from Main Street Roswell, talking about Christmas, light parade, shop small business, Saturday, Black Friday, all that good stuff. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winter.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent Sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chavez County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6. And in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
In times of need, it's important to know someone's got your back. Tape Ranch Auto Group is here to support our community in Chavez County as we recover from the recent flooding. To help ease the burden, we are offering $1,000 in relief recovery cash for those impacted by the storm. Use this $1,000 towards the purchase of a new or pre-owned vehicle as a boost to your trade-in value to help cover your insurance deductible or even receive a check directly after purchasing a vehicle. And if you can't get your vehicle to us, don't worry, we're here to help. We can arrange to have it picked up and brought directly to our dealership. We know recovery takes time, and we're committed to standing by your side every step of the way. Let Tape Ranch Auto Group help you get back on the road and back on your feet, because together we're stronger.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Main Street Roswell, Barbara Gomez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing good. It was a little chilly this morning. Oh, my goodness. I was a little bit surprised.
It is.
I mean, I knew it was going to cool down, but
yeah.
I was feeling like, is it boot time already? Sweaters?
I think it's full on fall now.
Yeah.
Full on fall. We'll go with that.
And I love fall. I really, really do. And of course, November's going to go really fast. There's so much going on in November already.
I will say, yeah, we're, with now that we're officially done with Halloween, we're done. But now we kind of turn to Thanksgiving, which right on the heels of that is Black Friday, which shop small.
That's right.
And
That's right.
The holiday shopping season.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, if anybody went out last night, what an amazing turnout.
Yeah.
Last night
Had a great
over
crowd.
over the Pioneer Plaza. My husband and I took a couple of drives here and there, and we kind of got stuck over there on the north side. There were so many people. I thought, you know what, they need to call police department or something, control here. But it was a lot of fun. But yes, we have a lot going on Main Street. Yes, it is November, and coming up at the end of this month, like you mentioned, Mike, Saturday right after Thanksgiving. Well, of course, we start with Friday. Friday's Black Friday.
Yes.
So don't forget to shop downtown, and then Saturday is shop small Saturday. So you need to come downtown. Yeah. They're going to have some sales going on and a few fun thing going on downtown. And
this is where we want to encourage you to support these local businesses. Where let's face it, a couple of different reasons. I mean, these folks specialize in the products. That's what they do. That's right. They know the products way better. You're going to get way more information and service on those products. Also, too, the money. The money thing is when you support local businesses, more of that money, it's just you do the studies, a higher percentage of when you shop at mom and pop local small businesses, that money stays here. Yeah. Less of that stays here when you go to big box stores and hardly any of it, unless it's a local business online, stays
That's
here.
Right.
And so that's why we want to encourage you to say, hey, and of course, Main Street obviously houses a lot of our local mom and pop businesses. That's right. So that's why
do shop the district. I mean, we have everything from cookies, as you know, and right now is that time of the year when you want to maybe right before Thanksgiving, instead of making all those cookies or those pumpkin rolls or whatever you need, cupcakes, go over to Sweet Baby J's. Yeah. They're on the corner of 4th and Main.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
And they are really, really good.
I defy you to not walk by there and not want to eat something. I mean,
that is true. That is true. I go in there, or when I do go in there, it's like I need to buy 3 things, not just one, because 2 or 3 things look good.
Yeah, self-control is not your friend.
No, it's not my forte at all. Not at all. But we do have, of course, we have furniture downstairs.
Absolutely.
In case you've never looked in there, we do have Brits Mercantile.
Excellent.
They carry a lot of wooden type furniture, tables and chairs, and then they also have all kinds of goodies in there that you might like, knickknacks, if you like knickknacks and decorations
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
tchotchkes, things like that.
And around this time of the year, it's always been fun whenever we do stakeholder meetings there, because in the wintertime they turn on their fireplace, like a old wood burning.
It's got a cozy element.
It's got a very cozy element. So you got to go in there and see them. But CS Designs has some wonderful things going on in there. They actually have teas now. So if you need something to drink, they do have some specialty teas, but they're also doing all kinds of very unique specialty items that you can, you can create by yourself and maybe make them for Christmas. A little bit of family time.
Absolutely.
She's a dandy, talking about some fun things. She's got T-shirts. I mean, anything you see on her wall, she can custom make for you.
Yeah. Or if you got your own little stuff, she can work with you on that too.
Make those things for you.
But just if you're trying to get it to her for Christmas, I would give her time. So now's that time to maybe talk to her about that, so it's going to be ready for Christmas and everything else. Especially if you got something more complicated or intricate that you'd like for her to do. Yeah.
And if you're into making things on your own, Imagine that's a great place to go into. They have all kinds of arts and crafts and fun ideas there.
I feel like that would be a great place to do a parent-child type activities.
To do a little activity.
Yeah, whether it's scrapbooking or some of the other things they do.
And the other thing is that they just recently remodeled the inside of their building. So you need to go in there. They've got so many new ways to look at things and ideas for you. Right next to them is Stellar, one of my favorite places down Main Street. Yep. They have great coffee. You guys, if you've never had a breakfast sandwich from there, they are delicious and they're big.
And all these businesses support the community in some way, shape, or form. But I know, there's so many nonprofits and organizations that just use Stellar as their meeting space.
We do. So, we do.
That's just they're always that community neighbor there.
It's a really fun. You see people working on their computers. The music is fun. The vibe is really great there. Right next to her is Moon Rock Outfitters.
Yeah.
They're still doing biking. They're doing bike rides together. So if you have a bike and you're saying, man, I need my bike fixed, take it over there and have them fix it.
Or maybe you want to get into that. And you're
you want to get into it.
I need to talk to people that know this kind of stuff. They got a whole building full in there.
Or if you don't want to ride your bike by yourself.
Sure.
They do group bike rides. But just yesterday, I received this from a pizza place. A pizza center. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They're having a sale right now, which is a great time because if you don't feel like cooking tonight, they have 2 spaghetti and meatball dinners for $25, or a large 16-inch 1-topping and 2-liter soda for $14.99.
It's funny you mentioned that. Sitting in my refrigerator right now from 2 nights ago is my leftover spaghetti dinner from a pizza center there. And to be honest, I was like, I'm in the mood for spaghetti. I'm gonna try their spaghetti and meatballs, and so I got that, and I loved it. But here's the thing: it's a huge portion,
It's a huge
so
portion.
I only ate about a half of it, and I got another half sitting, which is probably dinner tonight. But
it might be good for tonight. Well,
but it is really good. So take advantage of that one. You will not regret it. I mean, their sandwiches are good, pizza's good, but I just so happened to have spaghetti there for the first time like 2 nights ago, and it was delightful. It was really good.
And you guys need to stop by there. They're right there, just past Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, right downtown
going north downtown. But the other thing that I really appreciated about them, they're really supportive of what Main Street does downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So during the UFO Festival, I kid you not, I went in there literally the day of and said, I hadn't had a chance to visit with you guys. You think you can feed some of our volunteers? Next thing I know, the next day, they bring me stacks of large pizzas. Do you know how large those things are?
Yeah, they got the big boys.
Yeah, they do. So be sure and talk to them about getting some pizza from them.
They got great cheesesteaks, too, if you're a cheesesteak fan.
Oh, yeah, that's what kind of, they do Philly, don't they? Something like that?
Yeah, they got good ones.
They're known for that. So, of course, we've got our Mexican food, Martine's Capital Cafe. You can't go wrong there. Their chips and salsa are amazing.
My go-to every time is their huevos rancheros with the green chili stew.
Oh,
that's my go-to.
Man, if you can the only thing with that, their green chili's a little bit hot for Barbara, but as one of my friends says, Barbara, you're too Texan to handle this food. And it's like, I can't help it.
That's right. In all fairness, your level's a little lower than probably most people around.
Well, I've been in New Mexico a long time. You think by now I would have,
built the tolerance?
Yeah, put the tolerance.
You like what you like.
Yeah. So. I mean, I like it. My body doesn't
like it.
And
to be honest, the older we get, because that's where I like it, but my body's liking it a lot less the older I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing, too, where I'm kind of like, I better tone it down a bit, or I'm going to pay for it later.
Well, mine, I'd have a coughing fit immediately. It's like, wow, was that too hot? I say, my husband, try that. Is it too hot for me or not? But anyway, we got great things going on, you guys. But what I do want to tell you about, of course, is like Mike and I just talked about, it's Shop Small coming up the last day, November the 30th. The Saturday right after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So we have that going on. So make sure you come down and see us downtown.
Please, there'll be special. And as we get close to the event, we'll tell you more about specific sales and things. As we get
that
word
would be
on
fantastic if I could come back and tell you guys more. But it is also, we are trying to keep things as, I guess you can say, after the whole disaster area of the rain and everything, we're trying to bring some fun back on Main Street. So we are going to be doing our holiday events down on Main Street.
Excellent.
So they happen on December there's the first weekend in December.
Excellent.
So December the 6th, December the 7th. On Friday, December the 6th, we will have vendors. We'll have food trucks.
Yeah.
We will have, and by the way, a little plug here. I am needing some choirs, some singers.
Okay.
We plan to have some holiday music going on the courthouse lawn. And if we have enough people sign up.
School choirs?
Yeah.
Or maybe even like
church
the
choirs.
flute ensemble or something like that.
Music, single singers.
Some church groups. Yeah, absolutely.
Some church groups. Hey, reach out to me, please. I have called a few of you, but I would love to start a schedule already.
And I know all of you got a staple of Christmas music and Christmas stuff ready to go. So,
maybe I'll reach out to Tom Blake and a few others. We got that
Tom
flute and guitar music.
Yeah, I like it.
So we're trying to make it very, very Christmassy. Our Christmas tree will be going up before Thanksgiving. I don't know. I think right after Thanksgiving.
Right after. Okay. So maybe
it'll be
probably right during small business.
Yeah,
that
pretty quick
time
here.
frame.
It's going to be going up, but we don't light the tree until Friday because Santa and Mrs. Claus will come down Main Street and turn on that 16-foot Christmas tree that we purchased about 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
So this is a community Christmas tree. So it's for everyone. It's for the community of Roswell.
Absolutely.
It will stay up until the week after Christmas. So the first.
So right around New Year's.
New Year's. And it'll start coming down. But the big day for us is Saturday, December the 7th. Well, they're both big days. So come shopping if you need something. There'll be vendors out there. They're selling jewelry. They'll be selling wall type things and T-shirts and a number of things that maybe you might want to buy. A lot of the things that you find at the farmers market in terms of trinkets and things like that also come out to the Christmas celebration downtown, or holiday market, I guess you can call it. And then Saturday, like I said, is a big day because we'll do shopping all that day. And Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there that day from 10:30 to 3:30, taking pictures with kids all day long. We have a sleigh out there that Westlake helped us to put together last year.
Yeah, kind of while the tree lighting's going on, that's Santa there to do that. The next time is when you can come and meet and greet and get photos. You can come meet and greet. Get your Christmas wish list to Santa and all that good stuff.
And maybe I understand there might be some cookies out there, some Christmas cookies.
Well, I think if Santa's there,
chocolate.
That's probably on his rider that he has cookies
probably.
wherever.
He's gotta have, I think he has to have that.
Cookies and milk or something.
Right, but be there early because it'll be from 10 a.m. until 3:30. Then they take a break because they're also in the parade. So they have to kind of take a break, head over to get in line for the parade.
He's kind of the grand marshal, big deal of the parade.
Yeah, he
Santa,
is. Well,
Santa gets that billing. So.
He's kind of the grand marshal at the very end, if that makes any sense. He gets to close up the whole thing and bring in the fun.
Which is why the one rule that we have for the light parade is there's only one Santa in the parade, and it is the Santa at the end.
It is the Santa.
Now, if you've got, like, a plastic glow Santa, but no people as Santa.
Kids get confused.
Yeah,
because they think we only have one Santa. So, yes.
But if you got blow-up Santas or plastic Santas or whatever.
Or light-up Santas,
all
that's fine.
But humans as Santa, we only have one, and it's Santa.
That's right. And then right at 6 p.m., we start lining up before, but right at 6 p.m. starts the electric light parade. It is free to enter. Anyone can enter. We will be doing judging of the floats. The theme this year, hold on to your socks. The theme this year is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, so a little Tim Burton.
A little Tim Burton going.
So maybe hopefully some of your Halloween decor, maybe you can
do some of that.
Over a little bit to some of the Christmas stuff.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. If you're not into that, we're still going to be judging. You do you. You will be being judged on most Christmas, most festive, and different.
You go as traditional as you want, or non-traditional.
Or non-traditional.
You do you.
That's correct. And then after the parade starts a Christmas movie.
Excellent.
So that'll be a free movie on the courthouse lawn.
Yeah, so kick back afterwards.
Kick back, bring your blankets and
lawn chairs or whatever.
Popcorn if you want, and hang out there and watch the movie.
There will be some vendors on the lawn there that probably will have offerings of cocoa and various other
all
foods
kinds
and
of fun things. So come down and join us. We are still looking for sponsors, so if you've sponsored in the past and haven't stepped up yet, please let me know, because we again, with all of that, Mike, we're also doing we're doing the window decorating contest down Main Street. So the way you vote for that is you go online and like somebody's window.
Yes. What we'll do is the participating merchants will put it up on their Facebook there, and I'm guessing they'll probably also be on the Main Street Roswell Facebook, and you can kind of go through there and then literally look at the ones and like your favorites and things.
Like your favorites.
What I recommend you do is actually go downtown and see them, and maybe at night when they're probably lit up or whenever is most appropriate, and then vote that way. But yes, you'll see the pictures. But when you see the picture on Facebook, like the ones that you are.
You can like more than one, but
it is a popularity contest.
It is a popularity contest, and the top 3 winners win baskets from Main Street. So it's really fun for them.
And there's a bit of bragging rights amongst the local merchants about this. They have their own fun with it.
So some of them have already started decorating. So go by and see them. But of course, like I said, sponsorships. If you have not help to sponsor the event, because everything needs a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? You can't hardly do anything without your sponsors.
No sponsors, no event.
So thank you, Excel Energy, for already stepping up. For those of you that want vendor booths, they will be up on our website at mainstreetroswell.org. I'm sorry, .com. Is it .org or .com?
.org, I believe.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's .org.
Yeah,
that's what I keep saying. I got to
do
the motor mouth in my head. How did I do it when it's in muscle memory? .org.
It's on our website, so you can look that up, or on our Facebook. If you would like to be in, the parade, let us know. I guess the only thing is, what's the last thing that I have left out? Anything? Vendors, food trucks, parade.
Yes.
Parade. So
MainStreetRoswell.org's got all the information.
Yeah, we have all the information. So
shoot a message to the Facebook page as well. And like I said, if you're interested in being a musical group during the
let us know. I know
Friday night or all that, please reach out on that too.
I want to also say that big thank you to the young lady Wendy that puts out our lights. So you're going to see the lights going on the trees really quick.
Okay, so here in the next week or so, we'll probably start seeing the downtown lights.
The downtown lights will be going up.
Go up.
The poles are going to started getting decorated with
the
Santa hats on.
The alien heads, yeah.
And if you're looking for some place to volunteer, you guys, we could always use your help.
Yeah, they usually do that on a Saturday. They'll go out and
we do
that.
it on a Saturday morning, get it all decorated and make it all festive, put the hats on the poles.
Kind of like with the planter boxes a couple times a year. They'll go and plant and maintain the planter or get them ready. The actual business owners that reside near the planter boxes actually water it, maintain it. But usually once or twice a year, they'll go through
we go out
plant
there and
put
flowers in there. And so right now they've got some flowers that are really great because they've been staying really, blooms are still out now. So they're really kind of nice.
Well, we got plenty of moisture lately, so.
Yeah, sounds like we might get more, right, Mike?
And more might be on the way here.
But anyway, get a hold of me if you'd like to sing or you want to be a part of this or you just want to volunteer. So we do thank you on Main Street. It's looking great. So let's keep it up.
Keep it, celebrate, and come on out and shop downtown merchants and come talk to them and find some amazing, great gifts with our folks right here in the Main Street district.
Yes.
So,
yes. Well, so thank you, Mike, and I will be back as it gets a little closer if you'd like me to, or I will give you a list of what's happening on Main Street.
We'll definitely get updated and get folks as we get maybe a couple days out from the event while it's fresh on people's brains.
Sure, and we actually do something that's called Shop and Treat, and once I have that list going, I'll let you guys know what that is each merchant that wants to participate will say, hey, at my shop during Shop and Treat on those 2 days, I'm going to be giving out popcorn and I have a sale or buy one, get one free or a percentage off.
Okay.
But some of them do hot chocolate, some of them do candy, some do popcorn.
Sure.
So it's a fun time to go and shop and get you a little treat.
You can completely blow your diet by the end of the day. But it's the holidays. That's what you're supposed to do. So.
We're supposed to do that,
That's
right?
Well, but then you just feed your kids all these things, and then they sugar high and crash, and then you got that nice quiet evening. That's right.
Right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Barbara. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
All right, it is 8:39. We're going to pause for a quick commercial break, and I think Caitlin with the Roswell Public Library is here with us. We'll talk with her.
Cirillo, with the flooding requiring a long-term closure of the Roswell Convention Center, this month's regular meeting of the Roswell City Council has now been moved to the Community Development Service Conference Room. That's located in the Sun West Center at 500 North Main Street, Suite 100. The next City Council meeting is scheduled for November 14th. In addition, the Chavez County Clerk's Office has removed the Convention Center as a polling place for Tuesday's election. The site has been replaced by St. Andrew's Episcopal Church at 505 North Pennsylvania Avenue. Meanwhile, the President of the United States has approved Roswell and Chavez County's request for a declaration of a major disaster due to the flooding. The action will release FEMA funding to support in the recovery efforts. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has since classified last month's flooding as a 500-year flood event. A hotline remains set up at 833-663-4736 for any questions residents might have. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Head coach Mike McCarthy responds to a star player taking exception to a social media post by a local reporter right after this.
Becky Hammond on Inspiration.
I hope it's an inspiration to girls out there, being the first woman to coach an NBA team. But I've always been more inspired by the future, not by what I've done, but by what's coming next.
What do you want to do next? Whether it's buying a home, growing your wealth, or protecting your assets, SWBC is here to support your next steps toward financial success with personalized service and expert advice.
Visit SWBC.com to take the next step toward your financial future.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant. Proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
Following Sunday's frustrating loss at the 49ers, Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs took exception to a social media posting by a television sportscaster at the DFW ABC affiliate who questioned Diggs' effort in chasing down a 49er pass catcher. Diggs confronted the reporter outside the locker room immediately after the game and caused a further social media stir. Head coach Mike McCarthy reacted to the situation.
We have to be better in those moments. I always talk about staying on the high road. It's part of our responsibility. I am not ignorant or naive to the fact that, this generation, it's part of the world they live in. That's part of being a professional athlete, and that's part of representing this organization properly.
Diggs and teammates have today off, but McCarthy and his staff are putting together the game plan for this weekend's road trip to Atlanta. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers around the area today with a cold front moving through. Partly cloudy skies and very gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. This afternoon's high in the upper 50s to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, cloudy and windy, are low in the mid to upper 30s. And then we're back to sunny weather on Tuesday. Highs in the upper 60s, 70 and sunny on Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Federal Reserve policymakers look all but certain to reduce short-term borrowing costs by a modest 0.25 percentage point at their policy meeting this week, confident that the labor market is cooling but not crashing, despite new data showing U.S. employers added fewer workers in October than any month since December 2020. Boeing shares rose 3.9% on Friday as some analysts expressed optimism that the U.S. plane maker's latest pay offer to end a damaging strike by almost 33,000 workers will muster enough support on Monday. Los Angeles County, California has sued beverage makers PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, accusing them of polluting the most populous U.S. county with plastic bottles and misleading the public about the environmental impact of their containers. Wendy's plans to close 140 U.S. restaurants before the end of this year. On top of the 100 it said it would close in May. The company said those closures will be offset by new restaurant openings. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair, Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run, Walk and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, Walk or Run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your four-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit Wounded Warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnm.com/veterans-mission-5K.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660. Fergalicious.
Like so many in our area, Carabelli Dental in Roswell suffered devastating damage as a result of the recent flooding. Doctors Keon Agar and Sarah Usher and the entire Carabelli Dental family would like to say a heartfelt thank you to the Roswell community, first responders, volunteers, and all who understand that the time to stand up and rebuild begins now. Rest assured that the Carabelli team is hard at work to reopen their doors and get back to making Roswell smile again. Carabelli Dental, proud to be Roswell Strong.
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chavez County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6, and in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:49. Got a few minutes here before they kick me off the radio here. I do want to mention that I over the weekend I did see the new Reagan movie. New. It's not. I don't think it's in the movie theater anymore. I saw it. A different way, but I saw it over the weekend, and overall, I liked the movie. Overall, it was a good movie. It's got a lot of stars. You don't realize how many stars are in the movie till you kind of go, through it, and it's, just fandom. Dennis Quaid plays Ronald Reagan. Penelope Miller, I believe is her name, plays Nancy Reagan. I'm trying to think who else. John Voight's in it. It's just a slew of celebrities. A lot of the celebrities you see in like conservative, like Kevin Sorbo's, they're in it too. But it's kind of a big cast. But anyway, I watched the movie, and so how they set it up, and obviously it's a movie about Reagan and his presidency, but how they tell the story is basically set up where John Voight's character is a KGB guy. He was a KGB agent, one of the higher echelons. I'm thinking in the rooms with the top brass in the Kremlin and KGB and all that during the height of the Cold War when all this was going down. And so he's like an old man, and this is, I'm guessing, they give the date. I want to say it's shortly after Reagan's presidency, maybe. And he's kind of talking, and he's there in Moscow, and this is post when the walls come down, and now Russia's not the Soviet Union anymore; it's just Russia. And so there's like a young, up and coming guy with I don't know if he's with the KGB. I don't know who he's with or whatever, but he's there. And so John Voight, and he's asking John Voight about Reagan, and he's basically telling the story of how Reagan is, what he is, and how he's this guy that they come, and I've been studying him, and I guess his job is to study Reagan for the KGB. And so he's like telling the story of Reagan to this young intern or up and coming guy. And so that's how it takes place there. And then it kind of, cuts into the story where, Reagan and all that. And occasionally it'll cut back to John Voight and the kid, what happened? Almost that Princess Bride-esque type, how you tell a story within the story kind of thing. So that's how the movie's kind of told to you. The story in the movie's told to you. I will say this. It suffers the same problem that any historical movie does. And it's when you're trying to pack especially years, and in this case, decades of history in 2 hours. And it's it's good for giving you the highlight, so to speak, or maybe some of the end games and stuff, and obviously for dramatization purposes, dialogue between various characters, that's all speculative. I mean, it's probably a lot of it's from eyewitness accounts and various correspondence between people, so there's probably a modicum of accuracy between the dialogue, but that's the drama part, or it's the facts in the case are what they are. Russians did this on this date, this is what happened, and so it does a good job of kind of telling you like behind the scenes there. I think the movie does a great job, at least, I don't know, well, I say accuracy, I don't know because I wasn't there, but the movie does a good job of kind of putting you in an emotional space on when some of these things were going down, because it kind of and I told you how the movie kind of goes where it's the storytelling from the Russian former KGB guy, but in actuality, the actual opening scenes of the movie are when he's shot, when Hinckley shoots him, and James Baker, also gets a bullet and all that stuff. And so it kind of uses that moment to anchor part of the movie, and then it kind of goes beyond all that. So the timeline, it does jump back and forth as many of the historical kind of movies, because there's moments where they go back to when he's a child, and how he's raised and his dealings with his mom, and that his father was an alcoholic and a drunk, basically, and doesn't, at least in the short moments, the movie kind of portrays like the dad wasn't really involved in Ronald Reagan's life. It was pretty much his mom that raised him. At least that's the way the movie portrays it. But the movie does goes into a lot of the relationship between his, Nancy Reagan, his last wife. He did have another wife prior, and they do go into that too. And during his acting career, and kind of they don't paint her in the best of lights, just where she basically they kind of blame the marriage on the fact that Ronald Reagan basically was so invested in his career as an actor and in running the Screen Actors Guild. And so they talk a lot about his time in the Screen Actors Guild and the strikes and dealing with some of that, and that's kind of where he got his chops for politics, and it kind of transitioned into California governor, and then obviously on to president, and you know the story. But it does a good job of kind of showing you, like, and that's the part I mean, I knew a little of Reagan, but I didn't know much about his acting career or his Screen Actors Guild when he was the president of the guild and all that, and they really do a lot of explaining those years of his life in there, and that's pretty good. That was neat. I found that interesting. There's a few of the hokey moments where it like any movie, they put that drama to spin on it to make it seem like a much more thing than the thing is when you lived it. It's one of these things that you don't realize so much till you get older in life, when you actually start seeing movies and various works about actual events in life, and then when you actually live the events and remember some of it, it's kind of a unique perspective that now me in my 50s kind of experiences now, where I remember these events in my younger days. Obviously 9/11 is one of those moments. A lot of us, certain age, remember things like that, but it's just, for me, it's kind of like I remember in the 80s and in the 90s and watching movies about like the 60s and things like that, and some of the events in the 60s and 50s, and so I watched them with interest, but I now I have the perspective of like someone that's older than me that actually lived through, say, JFK's assassination, and they watch a movie or an event about that time and when you lived it, and obviously 9/11 is one of those ones for my age and many people around my age and things, but that Reagan movie kind of evoked that same kind of deal, like the way they talk about some of the events and some of the things. Now, granted, some of these events I remember it from a 10-year-old's lens, so it's a little different from an adult's perspective, from a child's perspective, but it does. Like, I remember these years from my 10-year-old brain, And some of it jives, some of it is like, well, they're kind of making it a little overhyped. And then again, maybe as a child, a 10-year-old, maybe I was shielded from some of that. And so I don't know. So that was kind of what I took from the movie, just because of my age group. And so it was just unique to watch it from that lens of, I was alive when this went, and seeing it and seeing when some of this stuff went down in real time and remembering some of those things, that was, particularly how they handled the decline of Ronald Reagan, like after his presidency and then when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and handling that side. Obviously it's a 2-hour movie, so that whole portion of his life, they probably spend 5-10 minutes, towards the end of the movie about. But I just remember, that's the other point where it's kind of painted in a, this, I remember, and that was a whole drawn thing and a big thing. And we were talking about that living that time. And, that encapsulates 3 minutes of the movie. So so from that, it's a unique perspective for me and just putting myself in my life and watching the movie and remembering the events. But overall, it's a good movie. And when you can watch it in any way, shape, or form, watch it. It's worth a watch. It was pretty good. It was, overall is good. A few hokey, but overall, I liked it. So, we're about ready to get kicked off the radio here. Of course, if you missed any part of our show, you can always check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews and videos there. In the 7 o'clock hour this morning, around 7:15, we had Sandy Correa and Jana Blewett with the organization PEO, Philanthropic Education Opportunities. It's an organization that's been around a while for women. But anyway, they're having a Dine to Donate night out at Texas Roadhouse tomorrow. And so there's a link on our Facebook and on the video for the flyer and all that. So we played that interview in the 7 o'clock hour. We had U.S. Senate candidate Nella Domenici join us on the phone for a little bit in the 8 o'clock hour. Again, you can find that interview at ksvptv.com. And then we also replayed our interview with Hayden Hill. Sorry, not Henry Hill, not the guy from Casino. Hayden Hill, the coach and the teacher at Goddard, talking about Veterans Day this Thursday at Goddard High School. And then we just played our interview we had Friday with Barbara Gomez talking about Light Up, the Light Up parade, the Christmas, and, of course, Small Business Saturday and Black Friday and all that good stuff. So, all right, we got to go. Have an amazing day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump says he's ready to serve a second term.
This is really the end of a journey, but a new one will be starting, and that's the one we've wanted to partake in, which is basically to make America great again. And now we'll have a chance to do it after today. Hopefully everything will work out well.